promises of old will keep as the donkeys start to weep. Stars and stripes forever sway, in the land of the brave we stay. We've got the power now, in the heart of every town. We've got the power now, the Reds are going down.
With a flagpole planted firm,
golden dreams that won't decay,
marching proudly through the day. In the eagle's shadow by, we find our strength and take our pride. Let the voices echo loud, tearing through the waiting crowd. We've got the power now, in the heart of every town. We've got the power now, the Reds are going down. Across the plains and mountains tall, hear the victory call. With courage and with might we strive, in the light of freedom's guide. We got the power now, in the heart of every town. We've got the power now, the Reds are going down.
We stand firm in our belief.
hold tight.
Through the times clearer we can see, crazy world spinning round.
Stay grounded.
In our hearts simple truths agree, whisper of freedom and liberty
Rings true.
Our foundation strong and deep, holding on to what we know, while the rest of the world lets go. Steady paths we choose to follow, while the winds of change blow. In the story we built for trust in you,
Without a doubt.
time flies but we won't bend. Communists talk loud and fast,
Stay solid.
our quiet strength is our reply. So salute to change but pause,
Reflect.
in unity our dearest friend, holding on to what we know, while the rest of the world lets go. Steady paths we choose to follow, while the winds of change blow. In shadows we find our light, through chaos we stay upright.
Stay
With courage, faith on our side,
forever.
standing firm our guide, holding on to what we know, while the rest of the world lets go. Steady paths we choose to follow, while the winds of change blow.
in our little town so serene, where the grass is green, the air so clean. We gather round the table every night, joyful days, oh once again, with values passed, with generations past, living life with love that surely lasts. As the city lights look bright, we hold to our roots tight, in our hearts the same old choirs, guided by the good old days. Sharing moments with friends always divine, working hard for what we seek, respected each word we speak, holding dear to our family ties underneath these nostalgic skies. As the city lights so bright got me tight, in our hearts the same old fire. Dear, oh yeah. We sway with every change of time, but in our hearts old vows and sword that
I thought the world would turn slower, not as fast as it does. Conservative hearts were steady, sure, and just because a simpler time of values when right was what it was. It seems like those days vanished with just a fleeting pause.
Right-wing dreams of yesterday, steady in the fray, keeping timeless traditions, leading all the way.
Times are changing, feel the buzzing, staying true when they're fussing. Keep the flag a-flying through stormy nights, with the star-spangled banner I stand tall with manners. Cross my heart with hope in sight. Here comes freedom in the land of hope and glory, with liberty. Stick to values in the trends. Families gather, let's defend. Hold the line, keep the bond alive. Truth in our vision, in God we make decisions. For our dream, true, thrive and strive. Here comes freedom in the land of hope and glory, with liberty. We'll keep fighting for what's right, standing strong in the night. Here comes freedom in the land of hope and bravery, with liberty.
Hello everyone and welcome to Culturama, where on this show we are trying to reclaim the zeitgeist of traditional Americana back into the United States. It is so good to be back, everyone. I apologize for being gone last week. I was out in the Midwest, but I finally made it back here in the Pacific Northwest, where it's raining like I'm used to. So thank you everyone for being patient with me and for waiting for my return. And like I say with every episode, especially for this one, I will assure you that we have a lot to cover on today's episode. There have been major chat leaks. There have been unscrupulous behaviors from bureaucrats in our country, and so we're going to be covering that as well. Vivek has also is running actually for Ohio State Governor. So it looks like we have a lot to cover here, as well as I also have to note the CPAC and what happened with CPAC and the chainsaw massacre that we have seen in CPAC is also very newsworthy. And also, how does my microphone sound, everyone? I was just informed that the sound quality is probably not the best. So let me know if the sound quality is a little off, everyone in the chat. My Rumble is having a few issues here today, but what is a show without any technical difficulties? Am I right? Once again, Culturama is a show that is, primarily ran by me. I don't have like a full studio setup here, so let me know in the chat if the audio is a bit off. But I already see here that yes, Culturama is back. I'm already seeing people talk about that here in the chat. So, I don't think it's on. It sounds like your laptop mic. Oh boy. Okay, we already have a strong start here in Culturama. All right. Well, I will be fixing that here in a moment. But I do want to say hello to everyone. You just need to set your pod track, not your laptop mic. All right. Well, I will fix that up here in a second. Give me 1 second, everyone. I'm gonna fix the microphone here in 1 second. Give me a minute. Once again, this is a show ran by me alone, so be patient with me. This is what happens every time I go on break, okay? Every time I go on vacation, something technical happens, so bear with me. Give me 1 second.
In the heart they gather strong, pushing back the lefty strong. With the red banner held high, marching forward through the night. Promises of old will keep as the donkeys start to weep. Stars and stripes forever sway. In the land of the brave we stay. We've got the power now in the heart of every town. We've got the power now. The Reds are going down.
With a flagpole planted firm,
Golden dreams that won't decay,
marching proudly through the day.
In the eagle's shadow by, we find our strength and take our pride. Let the voices echo loud, tearing through the waiting crowd. We've got the power now in the heart of every town. We've got the power now. The Reds are going down. Across the plains and mountains tall, hear the victory call. With courage and with might we strive in the light of freedom's sky. We got the power now in the heart of every town. We've got the power now. The Reds are going down.
In the diner, sipping soda pop, jukebox tunes that never stop. I see faces from different scenes, lost the culture on a different dream. We walk down the same old street, but our stories never meet. Different worlds side by side in this twisting 50s ride.
Oh, let's all gather around. It's that time of year where we dress in the past. It's rather sincere. We'll celebrate the blues and jazzy too, with a wink and a nod beneath the full moon. It's Black History Month. Let's spin the records again. Swing to the beat as we pretend to comprehend.
I'm glowing in the night, shining like a star in this atomic age, a brighter by far. Untouchable energy, it's a glowing affair. Ready, ready, I'll take you everywhere. I'm untouchable now, feel the power in the air. Radioactive rhythm, but stands without care. Electric and alive in this atomic embrace. Unstoppable now, in this glowing space.
Birds are crawling like bugs in the night. Freedom's calling, gotta rise and fight. We'll stomp 'em out with all our might. Watch 'em scatter in fear and fright. Crushing commies beneath our shoes like tiny pests with nothing to lose. Crushing commies, our anthem strong. Stand united where we belong. In the heart they gather strong, pushing back the lefty's throng. With the red banner held high, marching forward through the night. Promises of old will keep as the donkeys start to weep. Stars and stripes forever sway. In the land of the brave we stay. We've got the power now in the heart of every town. We've got the power now. The Reds are going down.
With a flagpole planted firm,
Golden dreams that won't decay.
marching proudly through the day.
In the eagle's shadow by, we find our strength and take our pride. Let the voices echo loud, tearing through the waiting crowd. We've got the power now in the heart of every town. We've got the power now. The Reds are going down. Across the plains and mountains tall, hear the victory call. With courage and with might we strive in the light of freedom's guide. We got the power now in the heart of every town. We've got the power now. The Reds are going down.
Okay, well, we are back in Culturama, and I am having some technical difficulties, but I'm trying to see if I can fix it here live for you guys. So I hope you are appreciating that. But it says here that my microphone is on. I just wanted to make sure that you guys can hear it, or maybe I can troubleshoot it live. But you guys, please let me know if you can hear this right now. And then I will go ahead and try to fix that for you. All right, here we go. Much better, says Bucks Nasty. Okay, is it actually working? Can I proceed with the show now? We can hear you. Okay. Okay, so it does sound differently. It sounds better now, is what I'm gathering. Okay. Jeez. Alrighty. Well, works. Okay, cool. Thank you guys. It's very good. It's very good viewership also today. So I apologize once again. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Like works good. Okay, thank goodness I can proceed with the show. Okay, well now, like I was saying, there is a lot to cover today. I'm already 20 minutes in the stream, and I am behind schedule. But it's a Tuesday. I don't have a set schedule. There's no stream after this one on the 4 Liberty Network, so I can go on as long as I want. So you guys can stay as long as you want. So thank you for joining me here today. Like I said, I went on a little trip last week. I was gone all last week. And so when I came back, everything was unplugged from the laptop that I usually use. So I had to do it all again. And I guess I just run into some technical difficulties. That's just the way it is when I travel. But so thank you for staying along with the show, everyone. And thank you for staying in the chat and being active in the chat. We can hear you. It sounds tolerable, but it sounds exactly the same. Okay. I don't know what the problem is then, because if it sounds exactly the same, that's unfortunate, especially considering that on my OBS studio, it says that the PodTrack P4 is playing right now. So, and that it's picking it up. Maybe the settings are perhaps off here, but as long as you guys can hear me, it sounds fine. Okay, I don't know if it sounds fine or if it's like too quiet, but I can try playing with the settings. You're fine. Just proceed. Okay, I will proceed. That's cool. We do have videos to watch though, so that could be an issue, but when I recorded it, it was fine. Whatever. Anyways, like I was saying, CPAC has had big news. Elon Musk came with a chainsaw, or rather he was gifted a chainsaw, so I want to cover that. I want to cover as well the chat leaks from the 3-letter agencies that we so love so much, and much more. And also, I just want to thank everyone that have decided to join in on the stream today, like I said. And I already see that we have gifted subs as well. We have Steelbringer is now a monthly supporter. Thank you so much, Steelbringer. And then also, you gifted subs to the Culturama podcast. So thank you for that as well. So yes, I am finally back, everyone. I'm sorry for being out last week. And hopefully, with this stream, we can have a good time despite some of the technical difficulties. I guess I don't really need this microphone. Anyways, but there is another big issue that I want to cover as well on this stream. And that is also, as you can see it in the title of this stream, the right-wing health grift. There is a new contender in the health grift, and that includes Methylene Blue. So I'll be talking about that as well. I think you guys are going to really enjoy this stream. But before I get to that, I do want to say hi to long-time supporters of the show. Of course, I said hello to Steelbringer, and thank you for your gifted subs, Steelbringer, Barney Styles, Mr. Pig, Grizz Cheese. Grizz Cheese Row, I missed a couple fun streams last Saturday night. I'm so sorry about the Grizz Cheese. We will proceed with that this weekend, and I will be playing video games once again. Given that everything works with the setup here. Pork Chop 159, hello Pork Chop, welcome. Derek Moliere is here as well. Nelson 65, and of course AP is here in the chat as well. And Plumpkin Zero, thank you everyone for joining in. Share the stream if you can. It really goes a long way in conducting some outreach for us, and it's very good to see you, everyone here. And Steelbringer, yes, very good to see you all indeed. So, like I said, CIA, NSA, other 3-letter agencies' chat logs have been leaked. And it turns out, believe it or not, a lot of the people that work in those positions and those organizations are degenerates. Who would have guessed? We're going to be covering that. We're going to be covering CPAC, Vivek Running for Ohio State Governor, and much more. And of course, I'll be talking about the right-wing health grift in this country. And Nelson 65 says that he just got Thank you for the $5, Nelson65. He has gotten his Leo pillow. Indeed, unleash the beast. Thank you so much, Nelson65. That is amazing. So for those that don't know, I do have a pillow of my dog on the Culturama shop, which I'll be talking about on this show as we proceed further. That is a Culturama Grift shop, also known as a Culturama collection on the ap4libertyshop.com, where you can buy wonderful merchandise to support the show, such as a pillow of my dog. He is dysgenic and he is a freak, and I sometimes haul him out on stream if I get enough donations. I set the bar to $70 per stream so far. First it was $50, and now they're getting more donations. It has been bumped up to $70. So, but once we reach a certain amount, I bring the dog on the show. But we have other products on the shop. We, of course, have the Culturama pillow. We have sweatshirts, and we have our coffee brand. And here I have with me the Culturama coffee mug. As you can see, the radioactive space communist zombies, which we are aiming to fight on this show as we talk about present issues, as we talk about politics, society, culture, trying to change the narrative in order to reclaim the zeitgeist. Delicious, absolutely delicious. So thank you everyone that has been joining us and continues to join us. Please continue to share this stream, especially as, I try to figure out this microphone situation, but I'll be right back with the next story I'm going to be pulling up for you guys. I have all my links set up, so I know I was just on commercial break. I don't have any of the tabs pulled up, so bear with me, but I will be pulling those up and I'll be talking about this next story here. So everyone, stay tuned.
It's a crawling like bugs tonight. Freedom's calling, gotta rise and fight. We'll stomp 'em out with all our might. Watch 'em scatter in fear and fright. Crushing commies beneath our shoes like tiny pests with nothing to lose. Crushing commies, our anthem strong. Stand united where we belong.
Okay, that was a very short break, so I am back, everyone. Thank you once again for joining Culturama. So, Vivek Ramaswamy. Okay, I've talked about this individual quite a bit on my show. And he is perhaps, I would say right now, a very contentious figure in American politics. Yes, he was beloved by many, especially during the primary run of the last presidential election. And he was beloved by a lot of my audience, in fact. And I think that's fine. I personally was always skeptical of the man. But, there's reasons why people liked him. However, I have never felt more vindicated than what had happened on Christmas. Yes, you all know what I'm going to refer to. I am referring to the H-1B situation and the H-1B conversation. Now, I'm not going to be reiterating the points of that. However, what I will say is that whatever happened on Christmas, let's just say it doesn't make him the most popular candidate. And so him running for Ohio, I'm under the impression that perhaps he's not going to be that popular. And Ohioans, I suppose is what you call them, may not vote him in. I understand that the governor of Ohio doesn't like him very much. However, I also hear other individuals say that, you know what, he actually has a decent shot and that he is beloved by Ohioans. If I have any Ohioans in the chat, please correct me if I'm wrong. I personally don't know if he will get very far. Now, as we know, Vivek was part of Doge, and I have him here right behind me right now. He was part of Doge, but he has respectfully left his position just a few weeks following President Trump and his administration moving into the White House. Now, of course, it is left up in the air whether or not he actually left out of his own volition or if his arm was twisted in the process. But what we can say safely is that right now he is focusing on the governorship of Ohio. Do you guys really think he has a chance? Let's watch this. And again, Let me know if the audio is off here, but I will be playing the audio here on this in this clip, so bear with me, everyone.
I will lead Ohio to be the
But here he is. He's honored to officially announce his candidacy to serve as the next governor of Ohio. Let's watch this here together.
As the next governor of the state of Ohio. President Trump is reviving our conviction in America. We require a leader here at home who will revive our conviction in Ohio. And that is why today I am honored to announce that I am running to be the next governor of a great state at the heart of the greatest nation known to mankind. The state where I was born and raised. The state where Apurva and I raise our two sons today.
Let me know if you guys can hear this clip, but as he is saying where he was born and raised here in Ohio on the soil of America, even though he is a son of immigrants like I am, he was born in this nation and he is a fellow American just like you and I. And of course he is here to make the utmost difference in American government as well as in American culture, as well as our present understandings of what it means to be an American and an American citizen. So it really is, especially for a man to reclaim and retain much of his personal and heritage and ethnic heritage, especially maintaining a name or keeping a name like Vivek, or publicly stating that he is Hindu, is frankly a big deal here in the United States, especially if you're working in American politics. Especially in Republican politics. So I do want to give Vivek a lot of credit here for, maintaining his heritage, his identity as an Indian American, or what we should call him is an American. But once again, considering the conversations that have already occurred just a couple months ago, it still remains to be seen how popular he will stay, but let's continue listening.
Days are still ahead. I am honored to announce my candidacy to serve as the next governor of the state of Ohio.
He's pointing, he's doing the pointing move there.
I will lead Ohio to be the top state in the country to start and grow a new business. I will lead Ohio to be the top state in the country to raise a young family. I'll lead Ohio to be the top state in the country where our kids get a world-class education in math, reading, writing, critical thinking, and physical education. I will lead Ohio to be the top state in the country where we give our kids the toolkit to think of themselves not as victims, but as victors in a competitive global economy. We will lead
I would say it's a solid speech, you guys. I think, I have no issue with this.
Capitalism and meritocracy instead of apologizing for
meritocracy. At least that is the goal of here in the United States, is to maintain a meritocracy. I don't know how successful we are at that, but we're trying our best. Here, of course, Elon Musk has endorsed Vivek Ramaswamy running for governor of Ohio. And as you can see there is the clenching fists here quite proudly. So good for him. And of course, the big fish. Vivek Ramaswamy has received an honorary endorsement from President Donald Trump. President Donald Trump writes, Vivek Ramaswamy is running for governor of the great state of Ohio. I know him well, competed against him, and he is something special. He is young, strong, and smart. Vivek is also a very good person who truly loves our country. He will be a great governor of Ohio and will never let you down. Okay, that's pretty big. That's a pretty big claim there. And has my complete and total endorsement. So, clearly it makes sense why Donald Trump and Elon Musk would endorse him. In a way, they kind of have to, considering that Vivek was already working for them or previously was. So obviously, naturally, as a member of the administration or a previous member of the administration, it kind of naturally flows why Donald Trump would support Vivek. But again, I don't really know if this is like a full-fledged endorsement. Once again, considering the conversations that was had and the discourse that was had just a couple months ago during Christmas. And for those that don't know what I mean about the H-1B visa discourse, I'm assuming most do. But just to encapsulate it into a very small explanation for you guys. It was basically a conversation about whether or not we receive H-1B visa immigrants into the United States or not. And considering the job market that we are facing right now and the housing crisis that we are facing, and really our economy is quite suffering. And once you look at the rates of immigration, particularly as it pertains to those individuals that are coming from countries, mainly India, which I believe take up like 70% are 70% H-1B recipients. Those individuals are coming into this country and taking the jobs for a majority of Americans. Much of these jobs don't even require college diplomas. Now, once again, Vivek Ramaswamy took a very unpopular stance on that, and but to push it further, he has made a long-form tweet talking about the mediocrity of American culture. Now, whether or not you want to agree with him, that's a different story. However, I fail to think that Ohioans or people in the Midwest generally, that particular region of the United States, would mesh well with that message. However, with Donald Trump's endorsement, I think Vivek Ramaswamy has a good success rate coming his way. And here we go with this tweet. I wanted to end this story here. Breaking, Vivek Ramaswamy says every high school senior should be required to pass the same civics test we require of every naturalized citizen. Now, this poses a very interesting question about what it means to be an American. Now, are we talking about like heritage Americans that were here for multiple generations, or the newly naturalized? Americans should be an American regardless of what state of how long you were living here, correct? Doesn't matter what number of generation you were here. As long as you're naturalized, at least legally, we consider you as an American. But this opens up a different conversation about how knowledgeable are once immigrants in our country that have become naturalized, and how knowledgeable they are of what he says a basic civics test is, versus a heritage American high schooler, or heck, even an adult. Okay, are high school seniors required to pass the same civics test we require of every naturalized citizen? Answer is no. High school seniors are not universally required to pass the same civics test. You would think that they would teach these things in school, but alas, they don't, especially in public schools. But some states have implemented this as a graduation requirement, not all states. Now, there is a lot of contention about, especially someone like Vivek posing this, especially after making the statements that he has made in the past, considering, the whole question about immigration here in the United States. But it remains to be seen, once again, how popular he is here in the country for his run for governor in the state of Ohio. So it will be interesting to see what happens there. I do want to, of course, once again, view the chat here. Yes, Nikki Haley has indeed changed her name. Mr. Pig has noted in the chat. Now, I don't know how I feel about that. Listen, I am someone that thinks that you should be proud of your ethnic heritage, okay? Regardless of where you're from and whether or not you've been here for one generation or multiple generations, okay? So to change your name, even though it may be politically strategic and it makes sense perhaps if you want to get far into the political process, but it is in a way, at least I see it, it is in a way rather deceptive. It's not honest, it's not transparent about who you are, and in a way you're kind of revoking your identity, your ethnic identity, your background, your history, and your familial history. So yes, it may be politically expedient for Nimrata or Nikki Haley to do that. I personally find it difficult to respect, and this is a part of me that, even though I don't like Vivek personally, I have reasons for why. I mean, you guys can look at his business practices, but I do want to give him credit. Once again, I want to say this. He is pretty honest about who he is. Obviously, ethnically, he can't hide that part, right? But he still obviously stays true to his familial background, right? He retained the name Vivek, which is fairly unpopular here in the United States. But most of all, he is very honest about his religious background, and that is being Hindu. Now, there is obviously conversation about whether or not having a Hindu president meshes well with the American culture or American history, or how would that actually be socially acceptable here. And there's a lot of opinions about whether or not that should be socially acceptable. I'm not here to discuss that. However, what I do want to say is, you know, I do want to give him a lot of credit for being honest. Like many people said on Twitter, he could have very well just came out and called himself Vic, said that he was a Baptist Christian, and, you know, went along with it. And no one really bat an eye, even, you know, considering that he is obviously East Indian, but that's only skin deep. But he went in so far as to say, look, no, I'm culturally, I retain the cultures and the rituals of my forefathers. And I think that is actually very important. And that does tell me something about his character, if anything, at that. Yes, Vivek has a shady business past, okay? I understand that. There's different opinions about who he is and his history, but I can at least say this, is that he was honest about who he is and where he's coming from and what he believes. And I think that speaks a lot to his character. Maybe that's a strategy in and of itself. Maybe Vivek is playing 4D chess and he's trying to appear honest by stating that. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but that would be fairly interesting. All right, other things on the news that I also wanted to cover is yes. Now the 3-letter agencies sex chats that have been revealed. I'm going to be pulling up those stories, you guys. That is a lot. But before I do that, I do want to encourage you all to go on the Culturama collection shop, okay? Yes, just do yourself a favor. Go on the Culturama collection shop. You go to ap4libertyshop.com. In fact, I'll pull that up for you guys up here right now. Okay, you go to the AP4 Liberty Shop. You just type it in your URL, okay? You're just watching me. This is the AP4 Liberty Shop. You see all these beautiful colors here. Some may call it bisexual lighting. It sort of has a blue and pink tone. But anyway, you go to the search bar and you type in Culturama collection, okay? And what you will see pop up is my dog. That's the image it goes with. But once you click that, you will be met with this beautiful banner of me holding the space ray gun pointed at the communist space zombies. And what will find you will surprise you. And it's quite amazing, actually. You can scroll down and you can find the Culturama pillow, the Leo the Beast pillow, which is the pillow that I was talking about earlier of my canine companion. You have sweatshirts, but I do want to bring attention to one particular item here in the shop. Let's see. We have, of course, the mug. I want to bring attention to the mug that I have right here. I highly encourage you to maybe consider getting that mug because what you will be getting is the Culturama Atomic Blonde coffee. This coffee is from Costa Rica. It is delicious, and you can get a one-time purchase of the coffee or a consecutive purchase of it as well, and it goes towards supporting the show, and I highly recommend you try this delicious brew. It is, I believe, the most popular item on the shop, and for good reason. It's because it is delicious. So once again, you can find that at the ap4libertyshop.com, and you can search it under Culturama Collection, and you can scroll down and find the coffee bag right here. And of course, we already have a, yes, APOC, it is me, Danielle. I see you in the chat. Yes, I'm speaking. It is me. But I'm talking about the coffee here with my APOC. I also highly recommend you get this coffee. Very delicious. But something that every Culturama viewer, consistent viewer should have every morning is a Culturama coffee. So once again, highly encourage you guys to get that. And we are back. So I'm going to be pulling up those stories about the 3-letter agencies because this has been big news. Christopher Rufo has come out with this story as well as a few others. Chats were leaked, everyone. Okay? FBI, open up! Chats were leaked, and let me tell you, they're not pretty. Okay? It turns out there are a lot of degenerates working in 3-letter agencies. Who would have guessed that, right? Will you be discussing the patriarchy? Hannah Drama is asking monolithic ethos. Okay, Monolith, that's a very good question. I wasn't actually planning to talk about, for those who don't know, patriarchy Hannah is like this internet personality. I can give you a quick summary. She's this big internet person. Well, she's not big. She's like mid-size, bigger than I am at least. She had a big Twitter following. I believe she had a Discord, and she talked about, I don't know, like homesteading, I guess, or child rearing, I think. It wasn't the content I would normally consume, but as you can tell by the name Patriarchy Hannah, you could probably assert, you know, guess what kind of content she put out there. Anyways, but she had quite a following, and it turned out that her entire life, she said she was married, happily married, had 14 kids, you know, had her own compound, all of that, and she was going on with this identity for years, I think, was fake. So never trust who you talk to online, okay? And even your figureheads, even your thought leaders could all be living a fanciful, fake story. Don't believe anything you see online, unless you're a face Chad like me, okay? Patriarchy Hannah has never really revealed her face prior to the doxing, and so it's let me just tell you, it's very questionable some of the online figures you will come across. So there's only a few people you can really trust out there, but I will assure you that I am one of them, okay? From the very beginning, ever since I had my Twitter account, okay, I had my face as my profile picture. I don't lie, like Vivek, in a lot of ways. I don't lie about who I am. I'm pretty much transparent. And in some ways it helps me, in other ways it burned me. So that's something to consider, is that when it starts to be cool to come out, and when free speech is fully embraced, or at least more so than what it was before, especially on social media platforms, and you will see a slew of people come out and start, you know, showing their faces, doxing themselves, revealing who they are. I just want to tell you, I was one of the first few that actually was a face Chad. I was always honest about who I was since the very beginning. So please give me some credit, okay? I deserve it. So yeah, don't believe anyone, don't believe what accounts you follow unless they show their face, okay? That's really the message of the Patriarchy Hannah story. I'm not going to get into the details, and I'm not going to get into some of the claims about who she is. There was some rumor or some claim saying that she made pornography. I don't know anything about that. A specific type of pornography, which I will not be getting into. Others have said that Tony, her alleged husband, was actually her husband, but then he passed away. I don't know if that's true. I've only could follow the story so far before I started getting like irritated from it. But we have another donation from Quest Fanning, $5. Thank you so much, Quest. You wrote, the Fannings, Franny, Kate, and Quest, are late to the party, but happy to see you. Cheers to liberty in our time. Thank you so much, Quest. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you, and I appreciate your support of the show. Sorry for the technical issues today. As you can see, my mic isn't really working all that well. I don't know why, but thank you for supporting Culturama despite a lot of our foibles and showing up for the show today. I really appreciate that. But anyways, we will be proceeding and pushing through the next few stories. It is a Tuesday, so I can stream like as long as I want because there's no show proceeding after mine. So if you guys want to stay, please stay up until however long I stream, so I can really go on and talk about, like, go on a tangent for like 20 minutes, and that's fine. APOC says he revealed his face, and now everyone thinks he's a Fed. APOC, let me tell you something. Everyone thinks I'm a Fed. Everyone thought I was a Fed for a long time when I started getting more involved in the conservative movement and right-wing politics. It's weird because, like, I was always involved for the entirety of my 20s. I was involved in, like, you know, Republican politics and conservative activism. But it wasn't really until a couple years ago that I really started being more like social media active. And ever since I was the first year and a half, all I was ever told was that I was a Fed, because I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I look a certain way and people think I'm a face Chad, so maybe that's why. It's really sad that it's very rare to see people be honest with who they are in these spaces. Very sad. Okay, I hope I didn't miss any donations here before I proceed. I don't think I did. So, thank you so much, Quest, and of course, thank you, Nelson65, for buying the Leo pillow.
Monster kill.
I want to see more people buy the pillow. So please, APOC, if you want something to buy, let me tell you, the Leo pillow on the Culturama shop is something you will enjoy specifically. I know you will. Okay, I will be right back, you guys. I'm gonna get the next big story. It is a headliner story, so stay tuned. In the meantime, let's pray to God that my microphone will hopefully work a little better, but this is really out of my control, I feel like. So at this juncture, at least. So stay tuned, and I will be pulling up the next story. So hold on just like 30 seconds.
Are changing, feel the buzzing, staying true when they're fussing. Keep the flag a-flying through stormy nights. With the star-spangled banner, I stand tall with manners. Cross my heart with hope in sight. Here comes freedom in the land of hope and free, with liberty. Stick to values in the trends. Families gather, let's defend. Hold the line, keep the bond alive. Truth in our vision, in God we make decisions. For our dream, true, thrive and strive. Here comes freedom in the land of hope and prairie, with liberty. We'll keep fighting for what's right, standing strong in the night. Here comes freedom in the land of hope and bravery, with liberty.
Oh, let's all gather around. It's that time of year where we dress in the past. It's rather sincere. We'll celebrate the blues and jazzy too, with a wink and a nod beneath the full moon. It's Black History Month. Let's spin the records again. Swing to the beat as we pretend to comprehend.
I thought the world would turn slower, not as fast as it does. Conservative hearts were steady, sure and just because. A simpler time of values, when right was what it was. It seems like those days vanished with just a fleeting pause.
Right-wing dreams of yesterday, steady in the fray, keeping timeless traditions, leading all the way.
In our little town, so serene, where the grass is green, the air so clean, we gather round the table every night. Joyful days, oh, once I end, with values passed, with generations past, living life with love that'll surely last. As the city lights look bright, we hold to our roots tight, in our hearts the same old fires, guided by the good old days. Sharing moments with friends always divine. Working hard for what we seek, respecting each word we speak, holding dear to our family ties underneath these nostalgic skies. As the city lights so bright got too tight, but our hearts the same goes by. Oh, dear, oh, yeah. We sway with every change of time.
Okay, we are back on Culturama. I keep wanting to pull this microphone closer to my face, but there's really no need because as we are, barreling through this stream, there's no technical matter that will prevent me from airing Culturama because I was looking forward to this show and I always look forward to streaming with you guys. It is so much fun to see your guys' comments and I've been watching your comments during the break. So, you guys have a lot of interesting things to say is all I will say. But the headliner story, chat logs were leaked, everyone. That is a pretty scary reality for a lot of us. Imagine the cringy messages you send to your lover, to your friend, to the person that you are, exchanging warm thoughts with. Well, imagine if that was aired for everyone to see. Now, imagine that experience, but multiplied by 100 in terms of the impact that it will do. And that is the present story that we have lined up today. So I will be pulling that up here for you guys. Give me a second. Okay, so I made a tweet about this, and all I said was this: our taxpayer dollars hard at work, I see. This is the story. I don't know if you guys are following this story, but it is quite disturbing. Federal employees at the NSA, CIA, and DIA were caught engaging in a secret sex chat room in which they openly discussed genital castration. I don't know if I can say that on Rumble. Maybe I can. I don't know. I've been flagged before. Artificial female genitalia, sexual fetishes, and gangbangs. All the great stuff. All while, don't clip me saying that was a joke. Anyway, all while they were on the clock and being paid by US taxpayers. What a sweet gig, huh? You're getting paid and you're bothered to just do anything because we all know they're not doing their jobs. But can they do anything? No. But they will spend their time sexting each other in these chat rooms. Here's a story. It was leaked by, it was, I guess these chat logs were leaked initially, but this story was put out by Christopher Rufo. And listen, I know I shared my previous opinions on Christopher Rufo on this show before. Okay, look, I had my issues with the guy, okay, especially with the employing the people for the Manhattan Institute. And for those that weren't following along with that story, don't worry about it. Let's just say that he had hired a few unsavory individuals for that institute when he could have hired a lot more, myself included, by the way. But regardless, this story, though, setting aside my personal vexations with Christopher Rufo, this story is big and it's important we talk about it. And I think he's done a great job putting the story out. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that. So I'm gonna open up this thread here for you guys. Now let me tell you, it's a wild ride. So stay tuned stick with me here. But there's a lot to cover here. Exclusive. Christopher Rufo with Hannah Grossman, by the way, and I have obtained logs from the NSA's secret transgender sex chat room. Do I have a sound effect for that? I don't. Okay, moving forward. Okay, in which NSA, CIA, and the DIA employees discussed, like I already said, genital castration, artificial vaginas, fetishes, this one in particular. Okay, sex polycules and gangbangs and much, much more, all on government time. Once again, your tax dollars being used quite effectively. This goes well with the Culturama coffee brew. Okay, the NSA maintains a chat system. Sorry. Whoa. The NSA maintains a chat system for the quote intelligence community called Itlink, I think is how you pronounce it. The servers are supposed to be used for government work, but gender activists, of course, have completely occupied the entire structure and are using it for themselves to get off, because that is what these people are, seems like that is what these people that are so fixated on their sexual identity and their gender identity will always end up doing, is just using anything they can to just get off, okay? Anyway, they have hijacked at least 2 channels, LBTQA and this IC_pride_TWG, to discuss fetishes, kinks, sexes, and all legitimized as DEI, by the way. Okay, this is an excerpt from the report here, but I won't read that. One popular chat topic was a male to female MTF, male to female transgender surgery, which involves surgically removing the penis and turning it into a neo-vag, as they say. These male intelligence agents love the feeling of penetration and peeing out of their pseudo vaginas. Okay, and here are the logs. So once again, I don't want to make any claims or any, I don't want to, I think you guys, judging by who I am as a character and as a person, I think you guys can guess what I personally think of the content of these chat logs, okay? I don't think I have to explain to you if I have an issue with it or if I think it's degenerate or not. I'm not going to sit here and talk about things being degenerate, okay? I think we all intuitively know when something's degenerate or off-putting. But what I do want to reiterate strongly, and I actually find even more infuriating than that, because adults will do what adults will do. People are just degenerate sometimes. What really upsets me is the fact that they're doing this on government time and we are paying them to do this. I think that's a little bit more infuriating here. Let me read some of the highlighted comments here. This individual wrote, I mean, honestly, the rest is nice too. Wearing panties without worrying about anything showing. Seeing my reflection in the mirror. Wearing leggings. The pee thing is something I never thought of, but it's really nice. I'm assuming they're talking about a sense of gender euphoria here, but let's call it what it is. It's autogynephilia. I don't think anyone in the chat here will disagree with me. At least not with my audience. I don't think you guys will disagree with me on that part. I know there's some people out there that get offended when you say it's autogynephilia, but it's pretty much what it is. It's autogynephilia. Okay, again, not riveting. I know, a riveting opinion, but sometimes you just have to reiterate facts. This person wrote, mine is everything. I've found that I like being penetrated. Never liked it before, but all the rest is just as important as well. Indeed. Okay, all I can say is that it was 1,000,000% worth it, despite having to fly to Thailand to pay out of pocket. And the recovery, I would not change anything if I had to do it all over again. This is the NSA, by the way. Okay, so you guys let me know if you can hear the sound effects. Let's continue on with the next chat here. These trans employees discuss hair removal, estrogen treatments, and breast implants. Quote, getting my butthole zapped by a laser was ... shocking, said one trans-identifying DIA official. Medical science is gonna give me tits? Can I say that word? Where is it? Medical science is going to give me tits one way or the other, said a Navy Intel employee. Okay? One NSA official claims to use its pronouns, meaning that this person does not identify as a human, but rather feels sexless, genderless, a sexless, genderless thing. Other Intel employees defend the usage of it and itself pronouns, claiming that not using them would be trans erasure. No, not using them actually implies that you don't want to engage in the sexual acts that they're getting off to. You see, this person probably derives sexual pleasure from being objectified, literally, like literal objectification. And that's probably why they want to use those pronouns. There's no part of the human psyche, really, that wants to be identified in this way. Not a sane, stable individual. But these are the individuals we are dealing with here. And it turns out that they are attracted to three-letter agencies and bureaucracies. And it seems as though these systems and these institutions are rife. They're completely rife with these people. Continuing in the thread here. Intel employees use a chat room to discuss ethical non-monogamy or polyamory. Wow. I'm surprised it took him this long to find that. Many claim to be part of the sprawling sexual networks. Yikes, can you imagine the STDs? My God. And have a rich slang vocabulary about their sex lives. Quote, some of our friends are practically polymers, that's funny, with the connected compounds. That is absolutely revolting. I can only imagine the smell, the infections that ensues from these activities. I can't imagine that. I don't even know what that's like. I hope they shower all the time. So anyways, this is pretty much this thread that Rufo put out here. Once again, this is the individual that broke the story along with Hannah Grossman, but he leaked the story, posted the story. And this is a thread that pretty much summarizes it, but you can go and find it, of course. But there is more. He posted this today. Another thing that was leaked: the NSA and CIA officials expressed their desire to have hermaphrodite babies in order to advance trans ideology. Quote, an intersex birth would be a great opportunity to raise a kid as non-binary and let them choose later, a person wrote. The people who run the surveillance state are insane. So, first of all, I just want to point out, if you read here, zoom, enhance, hermaphrodite and intersex are two different things, yes? You're not 100% the result of your experience. Okay, where do they explain the hermaphrodite? Yes, true hermaphroditism doesn't exist in humans, and it's become an offensive term. Okay, I was going to clarify that because when I was in college, they said that using the word hermaphrodite was politically incorrect or whatever. But yeah, it turns out they're still playing along with that rule. That's fair, I guess. True hermaphroditism doesn't exist. So they are really preoccupied with gatekeeping what words we use and who can use it and who can't use it, but they're yet fantasizing about having, quote, hermaphroditic children. Very sane behavior. The CIA and the NSA are having a normal one today. And this is an average day of work, by the way, for these people. Okay. Another thing that was leaked here, CIA officials celebrating the death of Christian leader Pat Robertson. Not surprised. This is a reoccurring theme in the NSA chat rooms. Hatred against Christians, conservatives, Italians, and heterosexuals. Where's my Italian sound effect? There we go. In this stream, we do not tolerate Italian hate. Why focus on Italians? And there's so many other ethnicities out there. Okay, so like Christian, conservative, heterosexual, I get that. I get why they would focus on that, but out of all of that, they chose Italians. It's very funny. Okay, let's see if I can read this. This is really botched. Excuse me. This person wrote, overheard elsewhere, it was so smoky yesterday because the gates of hell opened up to let him in. I don't think Pat Robertson went to hell, buddy. I don't think he's the one going to hell. Have you already done these? Pat Robertson is dead, everyone. Only the good die young explains why my grandmother is still alive. Oof meter. Oh geez, these people. They're like children. How edgy. Wow, Pat Robertson died. And then they say he's going to hell. That's so edgy. people who celebrate the death of others, regardless of their political affiliation, is just very strange. Unless the person was like an outright, I don't know, killer or terrorist, I don't see why you would celebrate someone's death just because of political differences or religious differences. Very, very odd behavior. But again, like I said, 3-letter agencies having a normal one, not surprising, of course. On the one hand, I can't say that I'm surprised to see this. I am disturbed, but I'm not surprised. But once again, what should be infuriating about this entire situation is not necessarily the degeneracy of it. Yes, it's gross and it's sad and it's pathetic that these people derive pleasure from discussing such revolting acts. However, what does incite anger to me, within me, is the fact that we are paying for this behavior to thrive, because it did thrive for quite a while, and there was no checks put on these people. And I'm really glad this is out in the open to expose them. But it's not surprising that, like I said, people that get into these agencies and these institutions are weird. They have ideologically captured it for this long. It shouldn't be no surprise to any of us that they are weird and that they have sexual proclivities as such. The entire government institution, not noting the present administration or the cabinet, but I'm talking about the peripherals of the institution, are rife with weirdos. And one way that you really know this is true is the Trump foot video that has leaked. Well, I don't know if it's leaked per se, it was done on purpose, but I don't know if you guys saw this, but boy, this is one of those rare stories that my jaw literally dropped when I saw it. I know it's not like a crazy, amazing feat or endeavor to defeat. Funny how that works. It's not like a crazy endeavor that they accomplish this. But you would never think that this would happen in a government building. Monitors at the Department of Housing and Urban Development reportedly hacked to show an AI video of Donald Trump sucking Elon Musk's toes. I hope I can show this on the stream without getting flagged, but there you go. You guys can see it right there. Long live the real king. There's really no way I can explain this. It's pretty much out in the open. It's an AI video of Donald Trump sucking the toes of Elon Musk. So, this is, of course, kind of foolish and funny. Clearly, these people are lashing out, and they are obviously unhappy with everything that has transpired with the incoming administration, and this is how they lash out. It's just funny that they are lashing out in this way. There's a lot of right-wingers that were taking this rather seriously, and I think that's a little comical. It's like, it's just an AI video. This is so disgusting. Democrats are trash. They are trash. Somebody's getting fired. Yes, they are, and going to jail. I hope it was worth it. They are going to be doing this to someone's toes very soon. Yes, whoever made this AI video will probably be doing it with someone else's toes in jail. Maybe AI deepfakes aren't such a bad thing. Oh, wait. So, anyways. Interesting. The sexual degenerates are, once again, rife. Always rife. When in our government institutions, when you're considering, tax season is coming up. April is here soon. Okay? So, April 15th. Just remember that the people's pockets that you are lining with your money are going towards the pockets of people that generate videos like this. Do you spend your free time thinking about something like this? If you do not watch my stream anymore. I'm kidding. You can still watch my stream, just don't talk about it in the chat, okay? I still like your views, and I actually would also prefer if you buy a Leo pillow today. But I I'm sure there's a couple. I'm sure there's a few people that think about this. But for the most part, do you think your average Joe thinks about this? No. Do you think your hardworking American that goes to work every day, like the salt of the earth Americans that really keep this country alive, really figures out? No, it takes a true degenerate to go to the software, generate this video, think about think about doing it and losing their job over it. But also you're lining the pockets of people that celebrate your death. If you're a conservative, if you're a Christian, they want you to die. And there was also a leak of, I don't have it. I will have to pull it up maybe during the break. But there was within these same chats, they were talking about Jews as well. They were trying to say how Ben Shapiro should be like kicked out of the tribe. Not my words, their words. And making a few anti-Semitic claims. So there's that. And the Italian hate is just absolutely ridiculous. But Jews and Italians aside, if you're heterosexual, if you're a conservative, if you're a Christian, these people hate you. They want you dead, and they're the ones that are taking your money. Okay? The ideological capture is strong. And for someone to come in and just completely break through their reign of terror over the institutions for this long is really pissing them off. But how do they retaliate? Do they, stage a coup? Do they do something violent? Do they go postal? Any of that? Do any of the little DT or domestic terrorism? No. But what they will do is post a video of Donald Trump sucking the toes of Elon Musk. That's the best they could muster up. Okay. Hey, I would rather this than have them take the life of anyone else. So good on them. Chuck Schumer, quote, if you take on intel agencies, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting revenge. This was a threat. This is also an interesting video.
Do you think he has an agenda to try to dismantle? You take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman, he's being really dumb to do this.
What do you think the intelligence community would do if they were motivated?
I don't know, but from what I am told, they are very upset with how he has treated them and talked about them. And we need the intelligence community. We don't know what's going on. Look at the Russian hacking. Without the intelligence community, we wouldn't have discovered it.
Do you think he has an agenda to try to dismantle parts of the intelligence community? I mean, this form of taunting hostility...
Whether you're a super liberal Democrat or a very conservative Republican, you should be against dismantling the intelligence community. To take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday.
I don't know you guys, but what does Chuck Schumer know that we don't know? I think that it's pretty obvious what he's saying here. This is indeed a threat. How spooky. But the thing here is, you guys, particularly with the CIA, okay? The CIA, an organization that has been known, they claim this won't happen in America, but it does. It has been known to engage in acts of sexpionage, okay? It takes a degenerate to know another degenerate. Maybe there's a reason why they are filling up. I'm just doing some wishful thinking here, but maybe there's a reason why they are filling up these agencies, particularly those pertaining to the intelligence community, with degenerates. Because maybe it takes one to know one. And when you know one, you can use that as blackmail. You can use it against them. You can use it to control people. I don't know if, and I hope you guys can read between the lines here, but I'm not necessarily talking about autogynephilia alone. There's much more serious sexual acts you can do that could get you into really hot water. So are they filling up the people in the CIA, for instance, with those that are aware of that lifestyle and aware of the tells of that lifestyle? And, throwing them out. I'm just throwing out ideas. I'm not making any claims. I'm just talking out loud with you guys. Like, for instance, exposing dark I don't want this video. Where's this? Yes, sexpionage, like I just talked about. Let's listen to this guy. This isn't gonna be like a big.
how much truth is
But Lex Friedman had an ex-CIA spy, and whatever the CIA spy does, he's talked on various podcasts and streams and shows before, like here he is. But he talks about his history of working in the CIA, and he talks about sexpionage. And I knew very little about sexpionage. I am not a Fed. Once again, I don't engage in those acts. But he talks about it. He talks about its prevalency, and nothing this guy says is like really like shocking. But he does confirm its veracity, and I just wanted to listen to what he has to say.
There's kind of a funny question. How suspicious should I be when I'm traveling in Ukraine or different parts of the world when an attractive female walks up to me and shows any kind of attention? Is that like this kind of James Bond spy movie stuff, or is that...
The audio clips are echoing. I see that. I will try to make it a little quieter here so it won't echo as much.
Kind of stuff used by...
I'm working with the setup that I have today. Like I said, the technical issues are getting in the way, but I'll try to control
intelligence
it.
agencies.
I don't think it's used. It's absolutely used. It's called sexpionage. That's the term that we jokingly call it, is sexpionage. But yeah, the art of attraction, appeal, the manifestation of feelings through sexual manipulation, all of that is a super powerful tool. The Chinese use it extremely well. The Russians use it extremely well. In the United States, we actively train our officers not to use it, because in the end, it leads to complications in how you professionally run a case. So we train our officers not to use it. However, you can't control what other people think. So if you're an attractive male or an attractive female officer and you're trying to talk to an older general who just happens to be gay or happens to be straight and is attracted to you, of course they're going to be that much more willing to talk to an American who is also attractive. So it's
attractive in all definitions. So it could be all elements of charisma. That's attractiveness in a dynamic sense of the word. So it's visual attractiveness, but the smile, the humor, the wit, the flirting, all that kind of stuff that could be used to to the art of conversation.
There's also elements of sexuality that people underestimate, right? So physical sexuality, physical attraction is the most obvious one. It's the one that everybody talks about and thinks about. But then there's also sapiosexuality, which is being sexually attracted to thoughts, to intelligence. And then you got all the various...
I don't think sapiosexuality is a thing. I think it can be an aspect of one's sexuality, but sapiosexuality is being just purely attracted to one's intelligence. You have to have some physical, I'm sure, some physical attraction there, but anyway,
varieties of...
That's just my 2 cents.
Of personal preferences. Some people like people of a certain color skin, or they like big noses, they like small noses, they like big butts, they like small butts, they like tall guys, they like bald guys, whatever it might be. You can't ever predict what someone's preferences, sexual arousal preferences are going to be. So then you end up walking into a situation where then you discover, and just imagine being an unattractive, overweight, married guy, and you're walking into an asset or a target meeting with like a middle-aged female who is also not very attractive and also married, but then it turns out that person is a sapiosexual and gets extremely turned on by intelligent conversation. That's exactly what you're there to do. Your mission is to have.
Your mission is to have an intelligent conversation and look good doing it. Wow.
Intelligent conversation with this person to find out if they have access.
But anyways, the point I'm trying to illustrate here with this interview, Lex Friedman, I'm not a fan of in interviews, but these people master the art of seduction in a variety of ways. What is seductive today in today's world? And is this why that we have degenerates in the CIA now? Here's another video. It's titled "Exposing Dark Psychology Tricks," but he talks to this individual about his experience. The same guy is talking about his experiences in...
It's a real subject. It's a very real thing. It's a very real thing that's used in different ways based off of a country's civil rights. So in the United States, we don't really use sexpionage.
Not really.
We don't really use it.
I don't believe it. I just want to state that I don't think that's... technically, legally, it's probably true. I don't believe they follow the law whatsoever when it comes to this. At least not in the departments that he was in.
Because it goes against the rights, the individual rights of the citizen
rights of the citizen
works at the intelligence agency, right? So
you could even argue that the CIA existing in and of itself is going against the natural rights of all citizens. But regardless, I digress.
If you tell a female intelligence officer that they must sleep with this target in order to get information, you're violating her rights as a U.S. citizen. In China, that's not the same case. In Russia, that's not the same case, right? In the UK, they don't subscribe to forced sexual acts in service of collecting intelligence.
Forced.
Forced.
But you can if you want to.
What ends up happening is you can if you want to, and for those people who do, they end up creating what's known as an operational security risk, because once sex is involved, the power shift becomes untenable.
Also, I see here that Steelbringer just gifted a sub. Once again, thank you so much, Steelbringer. That is very generous of you. I'm keeping track of that. Thank you once again, Steelbringer. I very much appreciate you on the chat here and engaging with the stream. Thank you.
So if the whole goal of a handler is to maintain control over the asset, once sex happens, it's harder for the handler to maintain control over the asset in a objective relationship.
Oh, sounds like a modern day relationship. Also, we have $2 and $5 from Entropy Nomad and Quest Fanning. Thank you guys so much. I'll read your comments here in a second. But I think we watched enough of this video. I do wonder if the CIA allowed him to have this hair. Probably. Maybe some people found that sexually attractive. I don't know. But anyways, okay, I'm back on the first screen. Awesome. Okay. Where are you guys? Where are you guys' comments? $2 from I'll read Quest Fanning's first. Thank you so much, Quest Fanning, for the $2. You wrote laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji. Me so Scipio, me talk you long time. Quest Fanning, you dog. Thank you for the $2, Quest Fanning. And I always appreciate your comments here in the stream, of course. I see that you have the whale icon next to your name. Thank you so much. And of course, we have $5 from Entropy Nomad. Entropy Nomad, you wrote, you are my favorite, totally not a fed, from another totally not a fed, wink. Thank you so much, Entropy Nomad. I very much appreciate your engagement here on the stream and your comments as well. Thank you. Where are we at in the donation meter, actually? Because, oh dear, I need to look at the history of the donos. Let's see, 5, 10. I don't think we're at 70 now, but I just want to keep track, because for those that don't know why I keep track of the donations is the Unleash the Beast meter. Once we reach a certain amount of donations in the stream, I release my dog. But it looks like it is set at $70. I don't believe we reached $70. But if we happen to do that on the stream, I will bring out Leo. Anyways, where we do the Unleash the Beast. Monster kill. Awesome. So anyways, that was the headliner story for today's stream, but we have way more to cover. We are certainly not done, and it's very good to see that people are still viewing the stream despite the technical difficulties that I'm experiencing today. So thank you, my loyal fans. Give this stream a like. Please follow me on Rumble. Like it on Twitter. If you're watching this on Twitter, please share or retweet the stream. It goes a long way in supporting Culturama and supporting what I do here on the For Liberty Network. Additionally, follow me on Rumble. If you want to interact with me or send me a question or a comment or a story that you want me to cover, send in a Rumble rant and I will be reading that off, whatever it is that you say. Within reason. You cannot say some words, regardless, even though we're in a free speech platform. Anyways, I will be back. I have the next story I'm going to be covering. Let me check my schedule here. Yes, the CPAC situation. There has been a lot of activity at CPAC. Now, CPAC happened last week. I was gone. No, I was not at CPAC. I was at a different work-related trip. However, it's sad that I couldn't go because apparently I missed out on a bit. Chainsaw Massacre at CPAC. I'll be covering that and a little bit more. activities that happened there. So I think you guys are going to like this next segment. So I'll be right back and I'll be pulling those stories up for you as well.
In the city lights so bright, ideals flash in the night. Opponents stand side by side. Cultures collide, nowhere to hide. This meet dreams in the street. History on repeat. Our world's in a spin. Let the future begin.
Are crawling like bugs tonight. Freedom's calling, gotta rise and fight. We'll stomp 'em out with all our might. Watch 'em scatter in fear and fright. Crushing commies beneath our shoes like tiny pests with nothing to lose. Crushing commies, our anthem strong. Stand united where we belong.
Stand firm in our belief. Hold tight. Through the times clearer we can see. Crazy world spinning round. Stay grounded. In our hearts simple truths agree. Whisper of freedom and liberty. Rings true. Our foundation strong and deep. Holding on to what we know, while the rest of the world lets go. Steady paths we choose to follow, while the winds of change blow. In the story we've built, put trust in, never doubt. Time flies, but we won't bend. Communists talk loud and fast. Stay solid. Our quiet strength is our reply. So salute to change, but pause. Reflect. In unity, our dearest friend. Holding on to what we know, while the rest of the world lets go. Steady paths we choose to follow, while the winds of change blow. In shadows we find our light. Through chaos we stay upright. With courage, faith on our side.
Forever.
Standing firm, our guide.
Okay, we are back. Welcome back to Culturama. I saw in the chat here, we got $2 from, where is it? Where's the chat? Hold on. JJ, yes. JJ, thank you, JJ, so much for the $2. JJ4884, you wrote, at least I know Madame Pansack is a real person and not a psyop. Yes, I am indeed a real person. I sometimes think that I sometimes feel like I'm a psyop to myself and my own existence, but somehow I am making it through. Thank you so much for the $2 donation, JJ. Okay. Is Leo the Fed, writes Entropy Nomad. I'm not gonna answer that. I fear for my life if I do, but good question, Entropy Nomad. Some feds are good. Some, maybe there's like 1, 2 even. Perhaps Steelbringer. So perhaps there are some good feds out there. Let's see what else. Let's see what else you guys were writing in the chat. Just making sure I'm not missing any. What was that film where the female trained assassins at the end of her training were gonna have an elegant meal and then got raped by male recruits? Huh, I don't know, Quest Fan. That's I don't watch those kind of movies, I don't think. But if someone knows the answer to that question, please let them know. Unleash the Beast, writes Quest Fanning. Did we reach the... I don't think we reached the $70 mark, Quest Fanning, but if I'm wrong, someone please let me know, because my Rumble Studio is actually not working as well, and so I can't actually see how many donations it got in. I'm counting them in real time, but as far as I'm aware, I don't think we had $70 in, but I hope we do soon, because I do want to unleash the beast just as much as you do. Anyways... Okay, you guys, I was going to talk about CPAC. I'm getting sidetracked, so let me do that for you. Let me get my little Twitter stream up here. Okay. Where is my second screen? OBS is a lot of fun. Okay. All right, so CPAC, the Chainsaw Massacre. I wasn't there. I attended the last 2 CPACs. I couldn't go to this year's, unfortunately, but... apparently I missed a pretty crazy one, because in this one, as you can see in the video behind me, Elon Musk was gifted a golden chainsaw by Argentine, you can't say Argentinian, which is just wild to me, it's Argentine President Javier Milei backstage at CPAC with a golden chainsaw. There it is.
No!
Look how happy he is. You guys.
How you doing?
Good, how's it going?
I have a question for you.
Thanks.
I gotta admit, I do like Javier's reactions. I saw his reaction to Donald Trump last year, and it does warm the heart to see him lose himself to the moment, in the moment. And Elon, autistically, also is losing himself in a way, so...
That's cool.
Turn it on. Use it. Turn it on. Accidentally. I'm not gonna say it. I was gonna say something really bad about the kid. I'm not gonna. He lets a chainsaw off. That could have been really bad. I hope he knows how to use a chainsaw. Do you think Elon Musk actually knows how to use it? I don't know, maybe. Maybe. I can see maybe he's knowing how to use it. There's a photo op. Yeah, there you go. And as you guys are probably all aware, Elon Musk paraded around the chainsaw that he was gifted. And he wants to use it to chainsaw for bureaucracy. Let's take a look.
This is
chainsaw for bureaucracy.
Modern day
Chainsaw.
conservatism, everybody. Lovely.
That's perfect. All right. I love it. Mr. President, thank you so much. All right. Thank you.
So I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, in one way, some people may say that this is sort of like a celebration of buffoonery. Others may claim and say that it's actually quite based. I'm actually split. On the one hand, you know, I know I'm a fence sitter. Surprising, right? On one hand, I do think it's quite entertaining. On the other hand, you know, it is Elon Musk wearing sunglasses and parading a golden chainsaw, so there's that. But, you know, that is why Javier Milei got so popular, after all, and that is how, I wouldn't say that's how he made a name for himself, but he did get international attention from that stunt when he was initially running for president of Argentina. So I can understand the idea of like embracing these sort of off the wall, unusual ways to, you know, embody the conservative sentiment of your nation at that time, or the populist sentiment. So that's pretty neat. It's fun. Not everything has to be serious. I look at my stream, right? Not everything has to be serious. But then again, Elon Musk, do you guys consider him a figurehead or one of the intellectual figureheads of the American conservative movement? That's a question I want to leave with you because, you know, clearly a very successful man, and he has certainly made an impact as far as freedom of speech is concerned in online spaces, and he's certainly pushed the needle in the political and social discourse and cultural discourse, and I certainly can't deny that. But so I can understand why people may want to consider him a figurehead or in some ways embody parts of the populist conservative right. On the other hand, you know, especially with what has transpired about his romantic and sexual proclivities, you know, and his just personality at large, some may say that they don't really consider him a intellectual figurehead. Maybe a figurehead of some sort, but yeah, I think it's kind of wacky and funny, but it is fun, and I'm a little bummed that I missed it, but I was doing more important things, so that's perfectly fine, you know. But it is pretty fun to see this happen in real time here. But something more pressing happened in CPAC that people are talking about that I think requires more attention, and I'm going to talk about the Romans. So Steve Bannon did a Roman on stage at CPAC. Okay.
The only way that they win is we retreat, and we're not going to retreat. We're not going to surrender. We're not going to quit. Fight, fight, fight. Amen. The only way that they win is we retreat, and we're not going to retreat. We're not going to surrender. We're not going to quit. Fight, fight, fight.
So, what do you guys think? What do you guys think is going on here? I don't know. I don't have any like hard-hitting takes on this. I just thought this was rather interesting. I just wanted to bring your attention to this. But yeah, Steve Bannon did a Sieg Heil, or a Roman, throwing a Romans at CPAC. And this has, of course, encouraged a lot of conversation regarding the matter and regarding the types of people that were at CPAC to this year. Last year, I remember there was a few news stories that came out about a couple of, you know, teenagers or young men doing a few Romans, and that caught a news story, and that was like a big deal. Who would have thought that not even a year later, because CPAC is a bit earlier this year, are we having figureheads in the movement like Steve Bannon throwing Romans at CPAC himself? Of course, this was all done by, or first initiated by Elon Musk, as we all know. I'm sure we're all well aware. But this is encouraging a conversation about why this would be the case. We also had a Mexican actor do the same thing.
My heart goes out to all of you. Fight, fight, fight. That's why I'm going to join the Elon Musk and President Trump's movement. My heart goes out to all of you.
So there is, of course, an understanding and a conversation saying that this is, of course, an extension of the, or a part of the revolt against political correctness and reclaiming free of speech in the United States, in our social, political, and cultural context. So I understand that line of reasoning. Why is it that we can't do the Roman salute? It's existed before what had occurred during World War II, of course, sort of like, it's like the conversation about the swastika, like technically it existed, you know, why cannot, I mean, legally it still can be depicted, but without much scrutiny. So it's not obviously illegal to do so, but it is, of course, will draw a lot of ire for you, culturally, socially, professionally. So for someone to do an act like this publicly and so flagrantly, of course, poses a question about what, you know, how much judgment we place on, or how much power we place on the act, right? And this is why we have figureheads like Elon Musk. I guess I'm calling him a figurehead now. Figureheads like Elon Musk, Steve Bannon. I don't know who this guy is, but he did it too. They're doing it because they're obviously trying to embolden people to feel like they can actually do these things and still be, you know, culturally, socially, professionally viable. And of course, you know, I can understand that. I can respect that aspect. On the other hand, I don't know if this is one way to go about it, simply because I don't know if it's really the thing. I don't really know if this is a thing that is going to encourage that sentiment. Because yeah, they're doing an act. You're not going to see me do it on the stream, I can tell you that much. They're doing the act, but it's superficial. It's just a superficial way to signal to other people on what side you're on, I guess, or what aspect you are of the present ideological situation in the United States. There's clearly, you know, certain speech we can't have or say without being heavily excluded or treated like a social pariah in society. Free speech is still heavily muzzled. And doing a Roman salute isn't really changing that. But some may argue that it is a step forward in the right direction. Now, I'm not going to state my opinion on the Roman salute. I just think it's silly. But you know, things are definitely changing. I want to know your guys' opinions on this. Do you think this is like a legitimate action that is being done by them to change the narrative, or is it like just absolutely absurd? And do you think that it's just a complete waste of time and it's foolish for them to do so, or do some of you guys think it's embarrassing? I'd be interested to know your thoughts. Of course, there is a CPAC straw poll that was done, as it is done every year, and as this individual, Lomas, who retweeted it, said, well, we might as well not do another primary in 3 years, because as it turns out, these are the results. J.D. Vance has gotten 61%. Steve Bannon got 12%. And then Ron DeSantis got 7%. So I think we know who is going to be the nominee. We can just bypass the primary. Welcome to CPAC. Now, I don't think CPAC is as heavily attended as some other events, especially Turning Point events. So perhaps this isn't the most like accurate, but still, at the same time, if anyone would know about, or if anyone really calls the shots or the political shots out of any contingent of people or population, it would be those that attend CPAC. So, you know. What's also Donald Trump Jr. Okay, got 2%. Not surprised there. Nikki Haley still has a chance. She has a 1%. Greg Abbott got 0. Undecided got 4. Man, what a bad day to be Greg Abbott. And Vivek got 2. Well, maybe that'll help him for the Ohio run. So, welcome to CPAC, everyone. And of course, I want to end the CPAC conversation with J.D. Vance's message to young people. So, to young men specifically.
Because you like to have a beer with your friends, or because you're competitive. It's... our message, the cultural message, and I think the president's and mine is the exact opposite, but our cultural message is, I think that it wants to turn everybody, whether male or female, into androgynous idiots who think the same, talk the same, and act the same. We actually think God made male and female for a purpose, and we want you guys to thrive as young men and as young women, and we're going to help with our public policy to make it possible to do that. Because you like to have a beer with your friends, or because...
Do we like to have beers with our friends? I think we do. Very relatable, very relatable point, Mr. Vance. Okay, I want to make sure I'm not... Okay, I'm not streaming on the wrong thing. Cool. So that was CPAC, everyone. The Chainsaw Massacre. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any... Okay, wait a second. We did get a donation. We got a donation from... Steelbringer. Thank you for the $5, Steelbringer. You wrote, "It's a beautiful thing." Steelbringer, you are amazing. Thank you for the gifted subs. Thank you for the donation. You're great. I appreciate you. Okay, we have a lot of chats here. What are you guys saying? And for any lurkers that are watching, please go ahead and drop a comment in the chat. I love to meet new people, okay? So please do that. I have no idea what you guys are talking about in the chat, so I'm probably just going to continue on with the stories I have lined up here. I also want to talk about another big story, and I don't know if you guys will find this interesting, to be honest. However, I do think it's important, and this has to do with the health grift. Now, I don't know if you guys are paying attention. This is going to be a bit niche, but if you are involved in any right-wing circles or any conservative circles online, whether it be on X, even Facebook, I guess primarily those two, maybe a little bit of Substack, I don't know. TikTok is a big one. The health grift. Now, is it a grift to talk about, like, is it bad to talk about human health? Absolutely not. It's very good to talk about human health, obviously, and to pass along, like, ancient wisdom, common wisdom. Sure, I understand. But I do want to, this is something I want to talk about for a long time, because I personally take interest in it, and I personally been affected by it. But that is the utmost grifty, the most grifty aspect of the right wing. I'm just pulling up my stories here, so don't mind me, of the right wing culture. And one substance that has really grown in popularity just within the last few months here is methylene blue. Have you ever heard of methylene blue? I want to talk about Big MB. What Big Blue doesn't want you to know, and every right-winger and their mother is, or their grandmother, I don't know what the phrase is, but anyways, every right-wing influencer, it seems like, is promoting this product that I haven't heard of before up until just a couple months ago. And I'm seeing everyone, including RFK himself, allegedly putting it in their drinks. And they're saying that it is the next step in biohacking. I'll be talking about this. I'm going to be pulling up my stories. In the meantime, once I am done with that, or by the time I get that done, buy yourself a Leo pillow. Get yourself a Culturama coffee. I'll be going to the kitchen getting myself some more coffee for this stream. And also, you know, I have a Daniela Pensac body pillow on the Culturama shop, if that's something you're interested in. I also have We got the pillows. So check out the ap4libertyshop.com. Again, that is ap4libertyshop.com. And on that website, you look up Culturama Collection. And there you can find a multitude of products, from pillows, from coffee and coffee mugs, to sweatshirts, to jewelry boxes, to face creams. I have my face cream tucked away in my bathroom. To candles, to JD Vance t-shirts, to fanny packs, and more. So that is something to consider. Check out the store. I'll be right back for you guys, and we have a lot more to cover, so don't go anywhere. I will not be ending the stream exactly at 7 o'clock. I will be going on a bit longer, so I think you guys will appreciate these next few stories. So hang in there, and I will be right back yet again.
Oh, let's all gather around. It's that time of year where we dress in the past. It's rather sincere. We'll celebrate the blues and jazzy too, with a wink and a nod beneath the full moon. It's Black History Month. Let's spin the records again. Swing to the beat as we pretend to comprehend.
Times are changing, feel the buzzing, staying true when they're fussing. Keep the flag a-flying through stormy nights, with the star-spangled banner I stand tall with manners. Cross my heart with hope in sight. Here comes freedom in the land of hope and prairie, with liberty. Stick to values in the trends. Families gather, let's defend. Hold the line, keep the bond alive. Truth in our vision, in God we make decisions. For our dream, through thrive and strive. Here comes freedom in the land of hope and prairie, with liberty. We'll keep fighting for what's right, standing strong in the night. Here comes freedom in the land of hope and bravery, with liberty.
Well, here comes Daniela like Marilyn with a twist. She's got a master's degree and a style you can't resist. On Culturama, baby, we're shaking up the scene. So hit that like, make it click, you know what we mean. Like and subscribe, come on, don't delay. With Daniela at the helm, we're leading the way. It's Culturama, taking back tomorrow today.
You have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock, we are forcing behaviors.
Mao ordered his citizens to throw off the 4 olds. Old thinking, old culture, old customs, and old habits. So, your whole life went in the garbage overnight, no biggie. And those who resisted were attacked by an army of purifiers called the Red Guard, who went around the country putting dunce caps on people. Yeah, who didn't take to being a new kind of mortal being.
If you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted.
Well, things haven't been so sweet for Ben & Jerry's after the company posted an anti-American tweet, a few of them, on the 4th of July. The ice cream makers declared the United States was founded on stolen indigenous land.
Well, someone should tell Target that, because they're now selling swimsuits with tuckums in the women's section of the store. And they even have a line just for kids.
Yeah, we're going to reach out to Ben & Jerry's and ask them how they can live with themselves as they operate a multi-billion-dollar company on stolen land while declaring other people give up their so-called stolen land.
This is the child section. This is literally the kids section. I'm next to a literal onesie that says whatever the hell that means. We have "Glad You Came Out" and "I'm so happy that you're queer" in the kids section. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, but pride and toddler don't belong in the same sentence.
Good news! Starbucks will offer its workers reimbursement of travel expenses related to accessing abortion and gender-affirming procedures.
Kyle Rittenhouse was seen wearing a Black Rifle Coffee Company shirt, and they wanted to distance themselves from that individual. Key employees at the company also were donating to Democrats. Hafer doubled down on throwing many in his base under the bus, describing them as racist and a repugnant group of people.
Hey, Liberty lovers, stop scrolling, because if you're tired of the same old news, then I've got just the wake-up call for you. I want to thank you for tuning in to Culturama, and I know that you're enjoying every minute of it. Join us at rumble.com/AP4Liberty. The Wake Up America show is Mondays through Fridays, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time. It's a great way to start your day. Coffee's optional, but waking up is mandatory. Remember, at Wake Up America, we'll keep you sharp, we'll keep you laughing, most of all, we'll keep you free. I'll see you in the morning.
Alrighty, everyone, welcome to Culturama, where we discuss the zeitgeist and the collective human consciousness that we are experiencing here on planet Earth, particularly here in the United States. And I don't know if you've gathered already, but we are somewhat conservative here, a libertarian more specifically. But we also do like diversity of opinion and thought on this stream, which is why I'll be presenting the next story, because it is very diverse. And it is leaves room for a lot of questions. So I will be talking about the Big MB, Big Blue, the Methylene Blue Grift. And I saw a lot of people were already talking about that in the stream chat. So I want to pull that up here. Oh, looks like we have a socialist in the chat. APOC says he's a socialist now. So welcome, APOC. Okay, I see that you guys are asking about whether or not methylene blue makes like your pee blue or make your skin blue. I'll be talking about all of that here. Rowhouse, hello, I see your comment. I do want to double check I didn't miss any chat, any Rumble rants before I proceed. It looks like I haven't. Good. Remember guys, $70 and I get to you know what? Unleash the beast. Okay. So, and also, if you haven't already, like I said, did you get a chance to go to the Culturama collection shop like I asked when I was out on commercial break? Tisk, tisk. I know some of you didn't. But if you didn't, on the Culturama shop, what you will find is this wonderful Culturama mugs, coffee, pillows, fanny packs, and of course a pillow of my dog. So, or a body pillow of me, because we have those. Okay, let's proceed with the next story. I know you guys are excited. For those that don't know what methylene blue is, here we go. So this is just a quick explanation, but methylene blue, actually, I'll just pull it up for you. Methylene blue, I misspelled it, of course, but it's basically this thing. So you can get it like for 20 bucks online, and it is a blue dye. So this is how it looks like. Okay, you can just look it up. It's this blue dye. It's supposed to have all these health benefits. It's supposed to boost your energy and metabolism. Whoops. Enhance your cognition. We'll come to later talk about why that is. It's supposed to improve like mental health. It's supposed to be good for your blood. It's actually supposed to oxygenate your blood, but it's essentially just a blue dye. And you can just get this stuff wherever. Like you can get it on Amazon even. So methylene blue is the newest craze, and as I was going through Twitter and other online spaces, I have just been hearing this over and over and over again. Methylene blue, red light therapy are the two things that I've been hearing about, and I just couldn't help but talk about it on this stream, okay? Because I do think it's important, because when you see a repetition of talking points or of thoughts or of products like this, obviously that's a pattern. But there's an underlying reason for why that is. It's a part of this new movement. Well, it's not a movement, rather, it's an idea. But it's being pushed in especially right-wing circles, but in a multitude of ideological circles. And it is supposed to aid in the process of biohacking. That is, of course, hacking your biological self, your biological system, in order to get you to live healthier, but more specifically, live longer and look younger. Okay? And what I do want to say before we proceed on with this story is that really you can biohack all you want, but nothing really goes past or gets very far beyond the fact that whether or not you're healthy. You got to eat healthy, you got to stay active, and yes, there's some things, it depends on the person, of course. I think everyone's a bit different, but there's some foods you should focus on and some foods you should avoid. You know, get the protein, get the vegetables, be physically active. It's really not that complicated. It's going to be different for everyone a little bit, I'm sure. Whether that's based on your genetic background, your blood type, I don't exactly know what it is. I'm not a doctor. But what I will tell you is that the biohacking process will not get you to live longer than anyone else. At some point, we all have to throw off our mortal coil. And we do have to pass away. That's just an aspect of life, or the absence thereof, rather. And so this whole biohacking thing is interesting, I will admit. A part of me does find it interesting. But it's also, it seems like when you focus on and when you look at the amount of attention that these people draw into biohacking, it's actually quite depressing how much attention they spend in it, because there's only so much you can do to eat healthy and exercise when you just feel like you reached a plateau, you reached a wall, and then you're like, what else is there? Okay? It does reach you at sort of an existential crossroads, so to speak. Because, you know, there's only so much you can do to muscle max, I guess, or physically alter your body. But at the end of the day, is that what's really making you happy? And is that what's really going to have you live longer? If anything, it's probably placing undue stress on your body. And so anyway, these people place so much focus on what they're doing in the biohacking regime that they end up looking to dyes like methylene blue for assistance. Methylene blue is a medication used in the management and treatment of the I'm going to butcher this, the methemoglobinemia, a condition in which the hemoglobin decreases its activity to carry oxygen in the blood. This activity reviews the indications, action, adverse effects, and contradictions for methylene blue as a valuable agent in the therapy of the methylglobin problem, vasoplegic syndrome, and all these other issues. So basically, to summarize what this means for you guys, methylene blue is is a substance that could increase oxygen levels or travel of oxygen within your blood, particularly in the rare occurrence when your hemoglobin isn't performing, okay, or isn't performing as efficiently as it should. And so oxygenated blood, obviously very important, and the carry of oxygen is very important in order for your body to process and to function a certain way and to reach a certain level of homeostasis. And what medical professionals have found is that methylene blue, yes, it does aid in that process, but it is used in very rare occurrences because it is a dye, but it does have medicinal properties, but it has a lot of side effects. But before we get to the side effects, I do want to show you what I mean when I say right-wing people are promoting this product. So here's an example. This is from a doctor. Doctors, if it's a doctor, it means he's God. He's right 100% of the time, of course. This is this TikTok doctor has to say.
This blue dye is kind of a wonder drug, but it's not without some risks. Watch till the end to learn all about the amazing benefits of methylene blue and some of its risks. My name is Dr. Armstrong. I'm a naturopathic doctor, been practicing for about 10 years. So methylene blue is literally a blue dye. It was one of the first FDA-approved drugs from back in the 1800s. This was originally used in medicine for staining, and then it was discovered that it's anti-malarial. By the way, what do you think about these cases of malaria in the US now? So methylene blue was used for treating malaria. Now it's also antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, especially when combined with phototherapy. So if you take it and then get red light or sunlight, it can really help to kill all sorts of pathogens. Methylene blue supports mitochondria, which improves basically everything in the body and gives you better energy. It protects the mitochondria from oxidation, which is a huge factor for aging. So a lot of people are using this for all kinds of anti-aging benefits. Methylene blue is neuroprotective, so it protects the brain. And a lot of people are using this to sharpen their brain power, boost their memory and brain function. It's also being looked at for Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, anxiety, depression, even bipolar disorder.
There you go, wow.
Methylene blue has also been shown to protect the skin. It's
bipolar disorder, you guys, a very serious mental health disorder, something to consider. Throw away your lorazepam. I don't know what it is that they take for bipolar disorder, some like hard drug, but throw that away. Get into this blue dye. I think this will fix you guys up.
Antioxidant. It promotes collagen and.
Obviously, I just want to say it promotes collagen. I may want to look into that, but I'm kidding. Obviously, I'm not promoting this product. I'm just joking around. If you do have bipolar disorder, please stick to your medical regimen. Do not take methylene blue and replace your drugs with it.
Connective tissue, so it fights against wrinkles and sagging skin. It prevents or at least reduces DNA damage.
You know what else does that? A healthy diet. A diet rich in collagen. You know, a diet that has a lot of saturated fats. Surprisingly, obviously, you know, be aware of the intake of how much fat you put in your body. You do have to be aware of cholesterol, but what helps in maintaining collagen production? Drink less alcohol, eat more rich protein foods. There, I just saved you $20 from buying this dye. Okay, continuing.
From UV rays.
Maybe collagen supplements.
So with all those benefits, here are the cautions. Methylene blue should not be taken during pregnancy or by anyone trying to get pregnant. It should not be taken by anyone taking an SSRI medication. Book a visit with me.
There is a big interaction between people who take SSRIs, which is a good portion of the country, who take SSRIs and this this substance. They're called MAOIs. I think they are called MAOIs. We're not also allowed, for those who are aware of SSRIs and how they work or have taken SSRIs, you can't, am I saying it correctly? MAOIs, drugs, yes. Yep. Monoamine oxidase inhibitors. So yeah, if you take SSRIs, you cannot take MAOIs and vice versa, because there is a serious interaction that occurs. And similarly, can be done. It's done with methylene blue. And so the difference between MAOIs and SSRIs is that these are prescribed to you by doctors, and doctors will know right away that you can't take these two drugs together. Whereas methylene blue, you can just buy it off Amazon and take it with your what's a good example? Your Lexapro or your Prozac. So, and imagine what will happen when when you do that.
Me, if you're taking antidepressants
Well, we'll talk about it.
and would like help getting off of them. Also, methylene blue inhibits nitric oxide. Nitric oxide dilates blood vessels, so methylene blue is used as a vasopressor. Now that's a good thing for somebody in shock or somebody with very low blood pressure, but I would be cautious with methylene blue with anybody who has high blood pressure, especially pulmonary hypertension. And it's probably going to be the opposite of helpful for erectile dysfunction. As always, this is not medical
Some of you
advice.
watching in the chat, be careful.
Like with most things, it would probably be a good idea to start with a pretty small dose and gradually increase.
Yeah, we'll talk about the dosages here in a second. But, so yeah, obviously, you know, clearly there is some truth to claim. I'm sorry, there is some truth to the fact that methylene blue certainly is effective in some manner. And, you know, it's not a placebo. It really does affect your body and your mental state. But obviously there's a plethora of side effects. But then again, a lot of medications have side effects. Just because a medication or an additive, whether or not it's naturally occurring or not naturally occurring, just because it has side effects doesn't mean it's bad, okay? A lot of pharmaceuticals that save lives have a lot of side effects. It just depends how you take it and who takes it. So I'm not necessarily saying that this is bad because of the side effects that occur. If it works for you, it works for you. But what I want to draw attention to, once again, are figureheads within the conservative movement, within the modern or new right wing, that are just pushing this product. And I've just been seeing it over and over and over again, up until the point we've been seeing it with, like, Joe Rogan here, for instance. This person, I don't know who the guest is, Chase Hughes, but he said that he uses methylene blue and it helped him drastically. So
you were just telling me that you had a brain disease, and what did you do to fix it?
So
what was it, first of all?
It's temporal epilepsy with me.
Whitey White, I see you in the chat down here on my phone here, and I know it's echoing. You didn't see the beginning of the stream. I am having major technical issues with the audio, so bear with me. I'm using the audio from the laptop here, or it's picking up audio from the laptop, but it is going to echo a little bit today. Hopefully by Thursday it'll be fixed, so sorry about that.
Mesial temporal sclerosis.
And when did you develop this?
We don't know, but I started having seizures like a few years ago, and everybody in my family knows I'm a neuroscientist. I'd say with a lowercase n, not a PhD neuroscientist,
but you studied neuroscience.
Yeah, I had postgrad at Harvard and Duke, but they assumed, you know, Chase has studied all this stuff. He's going to know if he's having seizures, but these seizures come with amnesia. So I didn't remember that I was having any of them, and this was like 3 years ago. I'd retired from the military and then started having these seizures. So. Then I found a neurologist. The drug that they gave me, the number one side effect was seizures.
Many
From
such
this
cases.
pharmaceutical company.
I wonder what
So
drugs
I kind of looked around, and I found this guy's a functional medicine guy, and he got me on methylene blue to start off. And I know Mel Gibson was on here talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that instantly stopped everything. And some other
stuff was a fabric dye, right?
Yeah, in
Fabric
18
dye.
How weird.
I heard it was a porta potty dye as well.
And who the fuck drank it first?
Good question.
Who's that guy so bad?
Actually, funny story about that. Who drank it first? You would be surprised the lengths that scientists and medical professionals will go to in order to prove like their own theory. In fact, I don't know if you guys know this, but did you know that bacteria can live in the stomach? It was once considered that the bacteria, the stomach is very obviously inhospitable conditions. It's acidic, and for years doctors thought that no living creature, no living species can live in the stomach. But one doctor in particular thought they could. And so to prove his point, he actually drank a petri dish of bacteria. And that soon afterwards, he had started developing symptoms like severe acid reflux. And and so he's proven his point that there's one type of bacteria that can live in the stomach, and it is called, I believe it's H. pylori. But anyways, the reason why I'm bringing this up is that drinking methylene blue does not, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Doctors, medical professionals, scientists, they'll do what it takes sometimes. And even going so far as to drink a petri dish of bacteria. Anyways, but that needed to be done because before that, we didn't know that bacteria could live in the stomach. So there you go. I'm not talking about the intestines. I'm talking about the stomach. There's a difference. Obviously, we have bacteria in the intestines. That's different. Anyways, but yeah, this guy talks about how he was given methylene blue. This is on Joe Rogan. This clip was posted on February 25th, but I don't know exactly when this interview was taken. But I'm presuming it is rather recent because of the popularity of MB. Here is another influencer that, I do like her content. She posts very interesting takes. But she is another big proponent of methylene blue. I guess I shouldn't call her right-wing specifically, although I do find her more in right-wing circles. But she talks about like health and this whole biohacking theme that I'm drawing upon here. But this is what she says. There is no other supplement on the face of this earth. I don't think methylene blue is considered a supplement, but anyway. On the face of this earth that makes me feel so good and groovy as methylene blue. Just 15 milligrams a day of this blue clothing dye. It's a blue clothing dye. Does that sound intuitively good for you? Freaking, I think she meant reverse depression in 3 weeks in this study. Methylene blue is a powerful antidepressant. I wonder why you can't take it with SSRIs or MOIAs. Maybe because it actually does have antidepressant effects and qualities to it. I have no doubt that it does affect your SSRI production or your dopamine production, and we'll come to find out that it does. But that's also you have to be careful with those kind of things. Methylene blue is a powerful antidepressant, and for me, the effects are immediate after a break. I'm cycling it. No wonder people feel like they're the top of the world when they take it daily. MB is like crack. I want to ask you guys something. If someone comes up to you and says this substance is like pure crack, you should take it. Would you take it? Maybe some of you would. I personally would maybe, think about it. I'll sleep on it. But some of you, maybe you take it. I'm just asking, if a doctor comes up to you and says, hey, listen, I know you're depressed. Talk therapy doesn't work. Okay, I'm very sorry to hear that. Maybe we should look into medication for you. Here, I have this bottle of medication for you. It's like pure crack. Will that tell you that it's good to take? Anyways, and I wish I could experience its effects even once in your life. Because my vocabulary isn't good enough to describe it to you. This woman loves this substance. She claims that she's been taking methylene blue daily for approximately 10 months, and this is what she's noticed. Instant energy boost, brain fog disappearing, cognitive functioning improving, heightened senses. This does sound like a drug. Best pre-workout she's ever tried, and feeling wholesome, happy on a very gloomy day. So obviously it may even have euphoric effects, and I believe on the Wikipedia page it states that it does. Highly recommended. Doesn't give it justice, I'd say. And there she is, drinking the dye, mixes it with the water. It looks like toilet water, but if it does its duty, then why not take it? So, and here it is. She had a peer-reviewed article here, a controlled trial of methylene blue in a severe depressive illness, and I'm sure that it talks about it being having positive effects. So, here are just a few examples of these figureheads that are pushing this product, and by all means, you can go and check it out and look up Methylene Blue on Twitter, and you will find exactly what I'm talking about, or on TikTok for that matter. We also have people here giving it to their dog. Okay, my dog had a hold on. My dog had a couch. I don't know what they mean by that. By day 3, she was up most of the night hacking. We started Methylene Blue a day ago. They had a cough. Okay. No cough after Methylene Blue, and they climbed a mountain together. I dose my dogs as 1 to 3 drops of in their water bowl. Works every time. Listen. Do whatever you want to yourself, okay? Take whatever it is you want, but don't drag your dog into it, because I'll show you what happens when you do. This happens, okay? This is Leo on a week's worth of Methylene Blue. You know where I was last week? I was dosing my dog with Methylene Blue. This is what happens. If you guys think this is a joke, it's not, actually. People that take Methylene Blue have reported to have their pee turn blue, have their skin turn blue, have their hair fall out, and many other hosts of symptoms, which we will, or side effects that we'll talk about. But please do not give it to your pets. This is what will happen. So anyways, I was scrolling through Twitter, and I'm very well aware of this Methylene Blue situation. I'm not gonna lie, I even considered taking it myself. I thought to myself, well, this is really like helpful. It's making people feel amazing, and it's like a great supplement that, like, I don't know, if you're biohacking, it makes you live longer, it's healthier for you. Maybe I'll look into it. Never got around to doing it, thankfully. I was a little too busy, but I did come across this thread, and this really opened up my eyes to what Methylene Blue actually is. So let's take a deep dive into the MB Grift. And this nutrition detective guy is rather interesting, a little kooky, but I would recommend following him if you're interested in this kind of topics. But he writes, Methylene Blue is a neurotoxic accumulative pharma drug, the epic thread of evidence. Maybe you've noticed the coordinated social media psyop recently pushing porta potty dye as a health supplement. Well, it's not a health supplement. It's not good for you, and I'm here to sound the alarm, okay? So this is what he's going to cover. It's a pharma drug. It's a dye. It belongs to multiple known toxic classifications. It accumulates in your brains and nerves and tissues. So it accumulates the toxic effects. The body desperately tries to detox it, as we'll come to find out. When you take the stuff, you will pee blue consistently. Toxin binders grab it. It has no antidote. Okay? It causes withdrawal symptoms. This is the one that really got to me. Because it's like, well, if I feel euphoric, forget all this stuff, right? But it has withdrawal symptoms. So if you are going to try this stuff, just, depending on your personality, whether you're addictive or not addictive, just bear in mind, you will experience withdrawal. As we'll come to find out, and what we already read, Methylene Blue does it does increase dopamine and serotonin. It does kind of have like a stimulating effect. People have compared it to something like Ritalin or Adderall. I don't know if that's accurate, but people have compared it to that. So coming off of it will have withdrawal symptoms. Okay, real people getting low dose side effects, and it lacks toxicity research. It's part of the infertility psyop, which is a big one, okay? Because a lot of this is fear mongering. Anyway, and it inhibits major detox pathways in the body. Are you guys ready to dive into the MB Grift? NPC, can you help me with my health? The best I can do is an environmentally persistent, toxic, carcinogenic, and mutagenic dye called Methylene Blue MB. Welcome to the modern world. Okay, so anyway, basic health concepts. Methylene Blue is not an essential nutrient. It's a dye, okay? I already mentioned this. To reinforce the pharma family tree of Methylene Blue. Methylene Blue was originally made by Bayer Pharma. Again, this guy's going to talk about how it's unnatural and it's part of pharma. And like, listen, I get it. If it's not natural, it's probably not the best for you, but there's a lot of medications that are very helpful and effective that aren't, like, they are synthetic. Just because it's synthetic, I don't necessarily have a problem with it, personally. If you're of the mindset that it's synthetic and it's bad for you, by all means, I just disagree. But what I do want to point out is this part. Methylene Blue is an MAOI. I've been mispronouncing it. I said MOAI, it's MAOI. Methylene Blue is an MAOI, a pharmaceutical antidepressant. Methylene Blue, as an MAOI, inhibits the breakdown of serotonin, dopamine, adrenaline, and noradrenaline. So it effectively forces their levels higher. Forces their levels higher. It's messing around with your brain's normal functioning. So I don't know what you guys think about antidepressants, whether you think it's good or bad. Clearly, it does rewire your brain and increases serotonin, dopamine. Similarly with stimulants like Adderall, they'll do the same thing. When you combine drugs like that, this is why doctors will be very careful about, prescribing like SSRIs with other drugs that are involved in what's the word I'm looking for? Serotonin enhancing activity. And that can be dangerous. It will literally cause seizures. Okay. So this dye does that. So it really does have like the effects of an SSRI. That's probably why people feel so good. And it's dangerous to take this with other things. What's really unfortunate is that the same people that talk about how bad SSRIs for you will also turn around and tell you to drink porta potty dye that does the same thing. Think about it. Wow, SSRIs are so bad for you. Also, drink this dye that will literally do the same thing. And you can get it as an uncontrolled substance. It doesn't make much sense to me. Okay, also, methylene blue as a phenothiazine, which means that it is classified as an antipsychotic. Like chlorpromazine. I apologize. Clorazepam, mix it up. Prochlorpromazine. I cannot pronounce. Anyway, antipsychotic drugs. So there you go. So not only is it as a function like an SSRI, it also functions like an antipsychotic. It interacts with 196 drugs. And also, methylene blue is lipophilic, which means that it stores and accumulates in fatty tissues. So it will accumulate the toxicity. So that means that even if you take it just a few times, it will still, and your body tries to detox from it, it will still stay in your system and it will build up over time. This is why it's very important that you don't take this for a long period of time. Unfortunately, a lot of people do take it for a long period of time. And if it does build up enough, it will cause your skin to turn blue. How neat is that? You'll be smurfification is underway. As you can see, this person's toes are turning blue. If the body thought MB was really toxic, it would probably try to get rid of it every which way it could, especially through the liver, right? Methylene blue rapidly appeared, hold on, what does it say? And was continually excreted in the bile throughout the experiment. What would rapid detox of blue look like? They were called side effects: blue-colored saliva, blue urine, blue feces, blue staining of the urine, skin, and mucous membranes, skin discoloration, as we've seen, blue and purplish patches of the skin, bluish colored lips, fingernails, palms, rashes. This is what exactly happens when you take methylene blue, especially for an extended period of time. I also saw a couple people say that when they took it long enough, their hair started falling out. So there's a lot of information here, but clearly, here's symptoms. Symptoms of methylene blue include hallucinations, delusions, disorganized thinking, disorganized behavior, agitation, and aggressive behavior. Speaking of agitation and aggressive behavior, we have 2 donations in the chat Okay, let me read this off. The first donation. Hold on a second. Let me pull this up. Quest Fanning donated $1. Thank you so much, Quest. You're right. I like marzipan. I like marzipan too, Quest Fanning. Did I say that? My apologies if I read off a medication as marzipan. Sounds pretty similar. And then we have $1 from Steelbringer. Thank you, Steelbringer. You wrote blue with the weird blue eyes. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You guys are amazing. I'm feeling blue indeed. I should probably play that song, huh? Oh, we have, well, hold on a second. And another $1 from Nomad Johnny. Nomad Johnny, you wrote, it even has the word meth in the name. Ah, exactly. You have the word meth in it. Must be really good for you. Oh, and also we have, again, $1 from Quest Fanning. You guys are crazy. Thank you so much, you guys, for donating to the stream. Okay, Quest Fanning, for the $1 you wrote, doctors once said feet's x-rays were good. It took 2 decades to fix that. Medical field is not evidence-based, but rather eminence-based. Yeah, exactly. The medical field, it's weird because people do call it hard science, but listen, I consider myself a little bit of a hypochondriac, a little bit of Daniela lore for you guys. I am I missed Row House. Mr. Pig said I missed Row House. Oh no. Did Row House donate? Oh my gosh, where is it? Row House! Row House, thank you for the donation of $5. Thank you, Row House. Appreciate it. Row House, I'll read your comment in a second, but let me, I apologize if I missed if that was a while back. Again, my Rumble studio isn't working today, so I'm looking at it from, I'm viewing the stream in a different way, in the chat box in a different way, so I apologize. But thank you so much for the $5, Row House. But to finish my last statement, a little bit of Daniela lore. I am a bit of a hypochondriac, and I do take some pleasure in learning about, medicine and health, and I have my own theories about dieting and health, of course, and I won't get into that. But what I will say is that when I looked at the diagnostic material for certain issues, especially particularly like with acid reflux in the stomach, because I had acid reflux for quite some time, it turns out all I had to do was go outside. But anyways, but the diagnostic material and that they use to prescribe drugs or treatments, at least as far as the stomach is concerned or other parts of the body are concerned, especially psychological, it is very vague, and a lot of it's conjecture. And that's when I've come to realize that, yes, the medical field is still rigorous, and it still takes a very active mind and a very intelligent individual to be accomplished in the medical field, but a lot of it is conjecture. And that's what I've come to realize, is that it's like, I don't want to say like it's completely a soft science, but in a lot of ways it is. And it's scary how vague it can be. So anyways, but Row House, thank you for the $5. You wrote, Daniela, in terms of Ashley St. Clair's Elon affair, now we have this tweet, your thoughts. You might have seen this. Let me pull it up, Row House. Yeah, that's funny. Let me pull this up, Row House, for the chat here. So, this Kimberly individual wrote, I've noticed Elon Musk doesn't have any mixed babies. I am available. A genius that will be guaranteed, that'll be a guaranteed athlete. This is a joke in Nellie's voice, unless you go and do it. Okay, so yeah, I've been seeing a lot of like ladies come out and, make the joke and ask Elon Musk to breed with them, and it's all fine and good and all done in good fun. This part is interesting because, I do have a mix of opinion here, because on one hand, people have been claiming that Elon Musk is like not having children by accident here. Obviously, he is kind of a weirdo. He's going to he's trying to make his own super race of Elons, right? So in a lot of ways, people have said that he is engaging in the act of selective breeding. I've heard the notion being thrown out that he's a eugenicist in this case, or he picks and chooses who he breeds with. I was willing to consider that, but I don't know if that's true, considering Ashley St. Clair. Because, like, I don't want to say anything bad about her. I'm sure she's a fine lady, but she's not the smartest woman. And yeah, she's like conventionally attractive, I suppose. But she's kind of mid. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry, she's kind of mid. So when Ashley St. Clair, because with the Grimes, you can maybe make the claim that Grimes was like a one-off, experiment he did. There was another lady that he bred with that was actually fairly accomplished and intelligent, that he had, I think, 2 or 3 kids with. But when the Ashley St. Clair situation occurred, I had just come to the understanding that, like, I don't think he's really that strategic in all this. I'm sorry, I don't know. Maybe he's just doing it with people that he just wants to do it with. But thank you, Rowhouse, for the chat. I do appreciate it. I know I'm getting off topic here, but what I will say is that very good coffee, Culturama coffee, blonde atomic roast. I was going to make a point here, and it has escaped me. Oh yes, a lot of people claim that Elon Musk does IVF to breed with these women and to reproduce with them, and that's what we've done with Ashley St. Clair. I was believing that, but then it had come out later. I saw a tweet saying that they actually did sleep with each other, and that makes sense because seeing how emotional Ashley is about this entire situation and her coming out with the story on Valentine's Day evening, makes me think that perhaps this is very emotionally charged. And I'm sorry, for a woman to be that emotionally charged, I think they actually did sleep with each other. She probably does have some emotional attachment to him, which makes her lash out in this way. So, yeah, it could have just honestly been a one-night stand or like a fling they had. Well, not a one-night stand, they still talked, but it was like a fling that they had. She clearly had a crush on him to some point. I don't know if you guys were following the story, but chat logs were leaked between her and I think Isabella Moody is the woman's name. Isabella Moody, another right-wing e-girl. Yeah, so like chat logs were leaked. By the way, like, crazy that she leaked these, but anyway, never trust a woman in the right wing. Not even me. I'm kidding. You can trust me, but you don't have to. But Isabella Moody showed the chat logs showing how, like, basically Ashley St. Clair planned this entire thing. The pressure is on now. I have to be funny. Elon followed me. I need his rocket babies, LOL. Okay, this was in 2023. And there's a few more texts that were leaked regarding this. So, I think they really did sleep with each other. Which, again, would explain the emotional reaction. But I am getting ahead of myself. Thank you for the donation, Rowhouse. It is so gross, you guys. That story, that story is so gross because, like, to think that this is happening in the right wing is... These are supposed to be principled individuals. If this was the left wing, like, whatever. Those people are degenerate. We all know it. But this is coming from people that, like Ashley St. Clair, who espouse these traditional values. And it's just like, it's all fake. It's all fake. All of these people are fake. The higher the number the following count they have, the faker they are. Okay, we have $1 from Waco the Kid. Thank you, Waco the Kid. You are amazing for the $1. Thank you, Waco the Kid. I really do appreciate it. You wrote, if I used methylene blue and some kind of red-based chemical, I'd come out a toasty brown and tanned. Yes, you would. That's something to consider. Don't just be blue. Don't be a Smurf. Mix it all together. Make an art of it. Exactly, because you're basically dealing with paint material. So there you go. Okay, and then we had another donation from Waco the Kid. Waco, you wrote, "I feel you owe us another crack at Fallout New Vegas." Yes. So, Waco, to answer your question, or it's a statement. And to everyone in the chat, I will be doing video game streams on Saturdays as best as I can. It's a technological feat, especially on the laptop that I use. So bear with me. As you can tell today, we had technical issues and we're still having technical issues. But I do want to video game stream. I think it's fun and it's a good way to increase viewership and engagement. And I have fun doing it. I do like video games. Fallout New Vegas does take a toll on the system that I have set up here. I will have to experiment with it to have it running smoothly because, you know, as you know, probably Waco, I tried streaming the video game and it crashed multiple times. And I honestly think I'm just working with a limited system here. But I can try it out. There's a lot more testing involved. I am thinking to do something a bit more simpler, something with less processing power. In a video game that I actually know how to play. So I was thinking to do maybe like Cuphead. I know you guys find Cuphead boring. Listen, it still goes with the theme of the show, okay? And I actually know how to play the game. It's simple and it's to the point, and I really like running guns. So I'm gonna try that, and then if that goes successfully, I'll kind of like graduate to more advanced games, if that makes sense. So this coming Saturday, I will most likely be streaming Cuphead and see how that goes. And hopefully the thing won't crash. Hopefully the stream won't crash, because last time I had to restart the entire stream and it was like, it was a mess. So okay, and we have another donation from Waco the Kid. You are on fire today, Waco. Thank you. You wrote, he may be picking the woman that balance out Elon's weird body build so the kids come out normal. Perhaps, Waco the Kid. Maybe it's not so much in the face physiognomy, but more so the body. He's trying to balance it out. Perhaps. 13 kids. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. $30 away. Are you guys counting the Monster Kill. Yes, I believe we are $30 away. If we get $30 more, I will bring out my dysgenic dog. He is not blessed. His physiognomy is not blessed at all. In fact, you could even argue that he has a body kind of like Elon Musk's, very tank-like. So, if that's something you guys are into, Monster Kill. $30 more and I'll bring him on. Some of you probably like that, some of you don't. Sometimes the viewer count just dips when I bring out Leo. Sometimes it rises. Her dog has a weird body type. Indeed, he does. But if you like the dog, you can also get a pillow of him under the Culturama shop. Anyways, yeah, if we get $30 more, I did bump it up to... Will there be swearing if I play Cuphead? I will try my best not to. Entropy Nomad. Okay, I will try. That's what I'm gonna say about that. Yes, quest fanning and $100, and you get to eat, Leo. I will say I will leave it up to two. I think that's gonna be a $200 donation quest. Okay. Alrighty, so this is my dog after he's taken Methylene Blue. Yeah, 30 more bucks and we'll get him out. But we've been streaming up to 3 hours now. But I do want to finish the story. But anyways, I think I've gotten to the Methylene Blue story here quite a bit. Lastly, I wanted to end on this. Compare Methylene Blue side effects with Ritalin. Okay, common side effects: headache, aggressive, irritable, or anxious, being tense behaviors, trouble sleeping, insomnia, loss. Of course, these are like really strong reactions to Ritalin, but this is known to occur with any stimulant. Loss of appetite, stomachache, dry mouth, feeling of being sick. This person commented this under this Veronica woman's post about how great Methylene Blue is. Her reaction to this information and her response, I am assuming you think it's very educated and well read. Well, this was her response. So, you know, it's up to your discretion whether or not you think Methylene Blue is worth it, but, you know, shut up, LOL. Here's a study discussing the controversial diagnostic or medication. It is discussing the controversial effects of Methylene Blue. It states here in the study that the toxic effects of the application of MB are dose dependent and includes serious symptoms such as hemolysis, I don't know what that means, nausea, vomitus, which I'm assuming is vomiting, chest pain, dyspneumonia, I don't know what this is. Let me Google what that means. Difficulty breathing, I thought so. Okay. And hypertension. Some countries regard MB as harmful because of the resulting skin irritation and triggering an adverse inflammatory response. I do want to point out that this individual, Veronica, talks a lot about inflammatory issues. She pushes the PUFA diet, or the anti-PUFA diet. And if you guys don't know what that means, disregard, but basically it's like all about inflammation. And it's just kind of ironic because she also posts about the wondrous effects of Methylene Blue, which causes an inflammatory response. But anyways, and this is a Wikipedia, oh, no, did I miss it? Here we go. This is a Wikipedia synopsis of what occurs when you take Methylene Blue. Cardiovascular effects, hypertension, central nervous system, dizziness, mental confusion, headache, fever, causes skin irritation. It can even cause necrosis upon injection, so that's kind of scary. Gastrointestinal, fecal discoloration, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain. You'll also urinate the color blue. It can cause anemia, which is really weird because the whole point of this is that it's supposed to oxygenate the blood, but it can cause anemia, which also has this. Anemia will cause the same issues that you're trying to reverse taking MB. So it sort of has like this Ouroboros effect where you're taking it to oxygenate the blood, but also it will cause an issue that will unoxygenate the blood. Very interesting. Anyway, yeah, and discoloration of urine and bladder irritation. So this is what we're dealing with when you take Methylene Blue. So please take it with caution, everyone. And I want to end on this note, is that, once again, we all have to throw off our mortal coil. We all are gonna die. The biohacking and the degrees that these people will take to remain younger longer, to live longer, even if they're trying to push their life 10 plus extra years, right? Chances are we're all going to die relatively around the same time period, given that everything goes right in your life. As long as you eat healthy and exercise to a moderate degree, don't run too much. It has been proven that too much cardio actually puts a strain on your heart and your cardiovascular system, but I digress. But if you eat right, if you are active, there really shouldn't be a problem. There's no biohacking involved. You can't really biohack your way into health. What will get you healthy is to be healthy. And at the end of the day, and you know, this is going to sound really fatalistic maybe, but at the end of the day, all that matters are your genetics. Okay? You can't escape the genetics. There was this very big psyop that occurred, and I suppose it's still occurring, where people try not to talk about or to acknowledge the fact that, you know, even though cancers occur many different ways from external effects, cancer is also largely genetic. And it used to be that you couldn't say that, but it's true. A lot of the medical issues that you are experiencing, or you have experienced but you've resolved, which good for you on that, but they are genetic. It all comes down to genetics. Not everything. Obviously, there's a lot of external pressures that have an impact on you and your development and your well-being. And it can throw you off of your homeostasis if you're not getting enough sleep, if you're not eating well, if your job requires too much of you and stresses you out. Stress is another big factor. I truly believe that like perhaps 80 or 90% of the medical issues that we may suffer from occurs from stress. Okay, maybe not 90%, but you know, like a good degree of it. But a lot of it is predetermined by your genetics. And what's ironic is that a lot of these right-wing figureheads that talk about the importance of genetics will also turn around and try to sell you on the idea of having you completely alter your reality into an outcome that may not even be yours, and have you biohack your way into health. There's no biohacking needed or necessary if you're truly healthy and you're working with the genetics and the body and the physiognomy that you are blessed with, that you are given in your life. And that's what I kind of want to end it on there. It's like, you know, I'm the first to jump on these trends. I really do like the health community. I like the dieting community. Oh, I don't like dieting. I mean, I don't need to diet. I don't diet. I'm just saying that, like, I like learning about foods and how it affects you. I do understand, like, I find interest in that. But if you truly are concerned about living longer or appearing youthful longer, which again also cannot be completely manipulated, you're kind of wasting your time. So please be aware if you are going to give your money to it's like these people are asking for money, like Joe Rogan or this Veronica lady. But if you are going to throw your money at a product, just be aware of the reality of the situation, and that is you can only work with what you got. There's no amount of methylene blue that will get you to look fit or to live as long as possible, okay? You can eat all the Burger King that you want and take the methylene blue. It won't fix you. You can smoke all you want, cigarettes, weed, whatever, drink alcohol, party, not have any sleep, all you want, and still take methylene blue. It won't fix you. The red light therapy won't fix you. What will fix you is eating well, exercising, trying your best not to stress, and having a purpose in your life. That's really all it takes, and the genetics will do the rest. And this is just something I want to stress. You can't escape who you are, and you can't escape what was given to you in life. So anyways, that was a tone I ended on, huh? Because I gotta end there because I see that we have extra donations in the chat, everyone. Hold on a second. Let me pull up the chat. Incredibly deep, actually, said Mr. Pig. Yeah, I know. I'm a very deep person. I try my best. Release the beast! Release the beast! Let's go! You guys have outdone yourselves. Okay, I set the bar at $70. I didn't think you guys would do $70, but you have surprised me. Unleash the beast, everyone. We have reached the $70 mark. So I will be releasing the beast. You guys did it. You reached the 70 bucks. Okay, let me read your guys' chats and then I will release the beast here in a second. Okay, let me look through the chats here. You guys, I am so surprised. You guys surprise me every single time. At first it was $50. Well, first it was like 30, probably, was it like $30, $20 when I first started the stream? Then it went to 50. And now we're sitting at $70 of donations per stream for you guys to see my dysgenic dog. Speaking of genetics, I just went on this entire diatribe of the importance of genetics. Meanwhile, I own a dog that is inherently disfigured and is a dysgenic work of chaos. He is the embodiment of chaos in nature. And for those that aren't aware, my dog Leo, he is 4 generations, count them, 4 generations inbred. And that's just how I adopted him. He was practically given to me for free, and I couldn't help, I couldn't help it. Of course, I took him in, and yeah, he is severely dysgenic, and I'll be pulling him out here in a second. But let me read you guys the donations. Okay, what do we have here? $20 from Rowhouse. To get Leo out, here you go. Another trad conservative girl typed Daniela, and you sent in a link. I will read that out. Oh yes, Rowhouse. I saw this tweet earlier today. I don't know if you saw my comment on it, Rowhouse. But anyway, Isabella Maria De Luca posted this edited picture of herself. I wrote, please stop. The reason why I say it's edited is because, like, look at her face. Look at the lighting on her face. I don't think I need to explain to you that this is edited, but anyways. People are calling her fat in this picture. The leopard print certainly doesn't help, but I will say she's not fat, you guys, okay? Come on. This is actually, personally, I think this is like a good, healthy body, in my opinion. I don't think it's fat. I do think it is a, it's a picture. I mean, she's trying to get engagement, whatever. It's not like I don't do the same thing. I post pictures. I don't post pictures like this of myself, but she's not being like, she's not being inherent, like she's not being super promiscuous here because her chest is covered. It's a little short, but I think that's fine. And she looks pretty. I don't think it's promiscuous. I think that it's engagement bait, and it's a little shallow engagement bait. It's not like, this caption isn't necessarily that thought-provoking. At least when I do engagement bait, I try to keep it thought-provoking, so. But yeah, you girls are just gonna e-girl, what can I say? But I don't even know her all that well. Who is? I've heard of her name before, but I don't really. My God. Look at the makeup she's wearing. You guys, I assure you this takes about an hour to do. Okay, this, you can just tell it's caked on makeup. That's sad. Obviously, like, I'm wearing makeup for the stream, but the amount of makeup I'm wearing is not even a fraction of what she's wearing. Yeah, she seems to do this a lot. She posts the images of herself wearing a tight dress. Okay. Well, anyways, good for her. Hey, it works for her. She has more followers than I do. Anyways, but thank you so much, Rowhouse. I really appreciate it. And because of your efforts, Rowhouse, we get to bring Leo out. So I really do appreciate it. Rowhouse, you are amazing. Okay. Let's continue. Then we have $4 from Nomad Johnny. Nomad Johnny, you wrote, good stuff, stay sharp, catch you next time. I am so sorry, Nomad Johnny did not read this in time. Thank you for coming onto the stream if you're still watching by any chance, and I really do appreciate you, and I appreciate you visiting me every stream. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you on Thursday and Saturday. And we have $1 from Steelbringer. Epigenetic factors too. Indeed, Steelbringer. Absolutely, absolutely. There's a lot of factors that go into it. And then we have, of course, another $5 from Steelbringer. You wrote, by Hashem, release the beast. We made it, you guys. Another $5 from Rowhouse. You guys are amazing. Rowhouse Row, I figured you would find this to be good news, Daniela. Reuters article, let's see. UN Security Council adopts neutral U.S. stance on war in Ukraine as Trump pursues to end the conflict. Yes, Rowhouse, more Ukraine posting. Okay, let me pull this article up. So I wasn't around last week, as you guys know. I couldn't stream. I will say I was fairly disappointed with the claim that Trump has made about Zelensky. But since then, I believe Zelensky said that he'd be willing to step down given that Ukraine would be admitted into NATO, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that was a very good move. Not too pleased with what Trump has said regarding Zelensky. So I will just leave it at that. Obviously, I don't want to get into the, because listen, I still have a heritage. Okay, I still have a heritage. Think of what you will about Zelensky. Is he perfect? No. Was he technically an actor? Yes. Trump was on television as well, but I digress. But I don't think Zelensky's a dictator. That's just coming from me. Of course, I'm a first-generation American, and I will be honest, I do have certain feelings about the war and about the homeland. I am an American first and foremost, but this is something that I've been thinking about last night, actually, is that it's one thing if you've been living here for multiple generations, well, not you individually, but I mean your ancestry was here for multiple generations. And so you may not have a direct tie from the country that your ancestors were from, obviously. In a lot of ways, you are, in a way, an ethnic vagabond in that sense. And what do I mean by that is that for someone like me who is first generation, yes, I'm an American first, but you still have those ties that are deeply embedded and ingrained in you, to the country that your family was from. It's very difficult to separate yourself from that. And I do think that retaining a heritage, retaining an identity regarding who your ancestors were and where your ancestors were from, and who you are culturally, ethnically, even in some cases ritualistically and religiously, really does matter. And it's unfortunate to see some Americans not really have those ties. It is a little sad. But on the other hand, it does kind of bring into that question about what does being an American actually mean. And I guess this ties back to the conversation I had about Vivek earlier. But being an American isn't just a name, because clearly it's not a particular ethnicity. We don't have those ties to the land, right? Maybe some of us do if we have ancestors hailing from the Mayflower, perhaps, but really a lot of us don't, right? And for those that don't, or they don't have that sense of ethnic pride or cultural pride or heritage, or a religious history, it is, I would say it is unfortunate, but this is coming from someone like me that is just a first gen, so maybe it's different for me. Maybe I see it from a different perspective. So, but to draw the point here, that was my reaction. That's why I react so strongly to Donald Trump calling something Zelensky a dictator, which he isn't, in my opinion. But I do think identity, ancestral identity, heritage, does play a big part into one's development. But that's as far as my feelings go on this particular issue. But my explanation is meant to pose this, and that is to explain why I may react so strongly to the conflict occurring in Ukraine. So, for those that may question that. But this article is very interesting. I didn't know about this. The UN Security Council adopts a neutral U.S. stance on war in Ukraine as Trump pursues to end conflict. I really do hope he does continue the pursuit to end the conflict. I wonder what concessions will be made. Okay, this short resolution reflects Trump's upending of U.S. policy on Ukraine after taking office last month, and his more conciliatory stance towards Russia. In contrast, former President Biden's admin led efforts at the UN to support Ukraine throughout the war. I do really believe that if Trump was in office, previous administration, the war wouldn't have happened. In terms of Trump's affinity to which world leader is concerned, obviously I think he has greater ties to Putin, and that is quite unfortunate for me to admit, because I did vote for Trump. But I do believe that Trump wouldn't have had it occur in the first, well, not like it was his choice, but he would have tried to prevent it in the first place, especially under his watch. So I still will hold to that assertion. Russia's UN ambassador Vasily Nebenzia acknowledged constructive changes in the U.S. position on the conflict. He told the council the resolution was not an ideal one, but a starting point for future efforts toward a peaceful settlement. Well, that's good news. The 15-member UN Security Council has been deadlocked through the war and unable to take any action because Russia holds a veto. Right, that's right. But the 193-member General Assembly has repeatedly supported Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The U.S. failed earlier on Monday to convince the General Assembly to pass the same 3-paragraph resolution adopted by the Security Council. Okay, what else does it say? However, Trump's approach to the mediation has left Ukraine and European allies wary of his focus on Russia. and worried they could be cut out of talks to end the war. Britain's UN ambassador Barbara Woodward told the council that the terms of the peace in Ukraine matter and must set a message to that aggression does not pay. Okay, the amended U.S. drafted resolution won 93 votes in favor of an assembly, while 73 states abstained and 8 voted no. Russia failed in a bid to amend the U.S. text to include a reference to the root causes of the conflict. The resolution drafted by Ukraine and European countries passed with 93 votes. Along with the United States, some other countries that have voted no were Russia, North Korea, and Israel. Interesting. Okay, well, I do hope that we are going to have peaceful end to this conflict. So at any rate, it is, it's always sad. It's always sad to talk about, but I'm glad that some, there is some, what's the word? The Unleash the Beast meter is still on. Sorry, you guys. Let me fix that. There is a positive foot forward in this conflict. Someone said, Rohouse says, does anyone feel Danielle looks Ukrainian here? I feel like she looks more German. A lot of people think that I do look more central, more Scandinavian, or like Central European. Yeah, I am Slavic. I'm like, I should pull up my 23andMe. I'm largely Slavic. I am basically all Ukrainian, and then I have some Republic of Georgia in there. So Caucasian, true Caucasian, from the Caucasus Mountains. So that's pretty much my ethnic history, and like barely some Finnish. So I guess technically I am like 2% Scandinavian. But yeah, largely Slavic. Okay, you guys. A good way to end the stream is to unleash the beast. So I will be right back. I will be bringing out my dysgenic dog because you guys paid for it. And he'll be dressed in appropriate attire for this stream. If you are new to this aspect of the stream, you're in for a wild ride. I will be right back. Stay tuned. I'll play your favorite commercial. And I'll be pulling Leo out. Wait a moment. I'll be right back.
Well, here comes Danielle like Marilyn with a twist. She's got a master's degree and a style you can't resist. On Culturama, baby, we're shaking up the scene. So hit that like, make it click, you know what we mean. Like and subscribe, come on, don't delay. With Daniela at the helm, we're leading the way. It's Culturama, taking back tomorrow today.
You have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock, we are forcing behaviors.
Mao ordered his citizens to throw off the 4 olds. Old thinking, old culture, old customs, and old habits. So, your whole life went in the garbage overnight, no biggie. And those who resisted were attacked by an army of purifiers called the Red Guard, who went around the country putting dunce caps on people. Yeah. Who didn't take to being a new kind of mortal being.
If you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted.
Well, things haven't been so sweet for Ben & Jerry's after the company posted an anti-American tweet, a few of them, on the 4th of July. The ice cream makers declared the United States was founded on stolen indigenous land.
Well, someone should tell Target that, because they're now selling swimsuits with tuckums in the women's section of the store. And they even have a line just for kids.
Yeah, we're going to reach out to Ben & Jerry's and ask them how they can live with themselves as they operate a multi-billion-dollar company on stolen land while declaring other people give up their so-called stolen land.
This is the child section. This is literally the kids section. I'm next to a literal onesie that says whatever the hell that means. We have glad you came out, and I'm so happy that you're queer. In the kids section. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, but pride and toddler don't belong in the same sentence.
Good news! Starbucks will offer its workers reimbursement of travel expenses related to accessing abortion and gender-affirming procedures.
Kyle Rittenhouse, was seen wearing a Black Rifle Coffee Company shirt, and they wanted to distance themselves from that individual. Key employees at the company also were donating to Democrats. Hafer doubled down on throwing many in his base under the bus, describing them as racist and a repugnant group of people.
Hey, Liberty lovers, stop scrolling, because if you're tired of the same old news, then I've got just the wake-up call for you. I want to thank you for tuning in to Culturama, and I know that you're enjoying every minute of it. Join us at rumble.com/AP4Liberty. The Wake Up America show is Mondays through Fridays, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time. It's a great way to start your day. Coffee's optional, but waking up is mandatory. Remember, at Wake Up America, we'll keep you sharp, we'll keep you laughing.
You guys paid for it and you got it. We have Leo on Unleash the Beast. Here he is. Let me get the song out here for you all. Hold on a second. We have Leo in an all purple hand knitted chef suit here, and he has the little chef's hat. Let me fix that for you, Leo. Where he is, everyone? Whoa. There we go. This is him in his ensemble for today. And he has a blue bow, of course. This is all handmade, not by me, but by his grandmother. It is handmade. And what do you guys think? Isn't he just handsome? I think he's adorable. And if you like him, we do have pillows of him in the Culturama shop. So what do you guys think about that? Tell me your thoughts. This was the Leo segment. Here we go. You guys are losing it. We love you, Leo. I think someone wrote in the chat once, have my children Leo, or I want to have your children Leo. You guys are like crazy comments about him. But yes, this is Leo's ensemble. Now this is a very old outfit. He hasn't worn it in a few years, so it is a little bit stretched out. But the hat here I absolutely adore. It is one of my more favorite outfits of him. But I don't know what you guys think. All handmade. There he is. He is just my dysgenic little guy. And yes, he is 4 generations inbred. Has he had an extra toe?
Oh, my little chihuahua, you run so fast. With your goofy little block, always having a blast. When you dance on your paws,
enough of the hat, Leo. We get it.
on a spree, chasing your tail. Oh, what joy you bring
Ave
me.
Leo.
My tiny furry friend, you light up my day.
$70, this is what you guys pay for.
1950 style, let's dance and play.
And yes, if you get $200 in donations, we will eat him live on stream. I am kidding. I won't do that. But what do you guys think? My goodness, isn't he handsome? I'm proud of him. Look at him. My little fat guy. He's fat, but he has a heart of gold. Not the smartest, but he has the biggest heart, and that's what matters. What does Leo think about SSRIs? Barney Styles asks. Good question. He doesn't need them. He doesn't have the intelligence to necessitate taking SSRIs because he hardly ever gets depressed. His brother, on the other hand, he does have an adopted brother, and that dog needs Xanax for sure. I know Xanax isn't an SSRI, but he may need Prozac, is what I'm saying. That would be more if you owned a pet fish, Daniela. I've owned plenty of pet fish, row house. I love keeping fish. It's actually one of my hobbies. Maintaining aquariums, maintaining fish are one of my hobbies. I'm not the best at it. I've been told by a couple people that I am known to be like, my aquarium is like a fish holocaust. They will last for a few months and then they'll die. It's mainly because I like to keep all natural tanks, or planted tanks, as the aquarium community calls it. It's very difficult to do sometimes because you will have nitrite spike and the fish will die. It's a whole thing, but I do like experimenting with it, so I do keep a lot of fish actually. But I want to transition from that. I've kept snails too. I want to transition to that and to maintain keeping a terrarium for land snails or terrestrial snails. So that's what I want to do next. But I will always have a heart for keeping fish. But this is completely different. I can't afford this guy going away, right? I may have a fish holocaust, but I don't have a dog holocaust. I love my dogs. He loves it here, believe me. So yeah, this is what you guys paid for. And I do want to also, since I have you guys here, one last thing to end the stream. I have been streaming for upwards of 3 hours now. We're pushing on the 4th hour. So I did want to do one thing for you guys. Is that if you like what you're seeing here, okay, venture over to the ap4libertyshop.com. And there, the first thing you'll see is the Leo the Beast pillow. If you like what you're seeing here, here he is. We already had a few people purchase it. They love the quality of the pillow. Yes, it is rather crazy to own a pillow of my dog, but it's also a great conversation piece starter. And do not be dismayed at the cost of the pillow, because as soon as you enter in the website, you go down to the bottom left corner and you'll see the spin to win option, and you click on that and you can spin the wheel to get a certain % off of your next purchase. If you're not lucky that day, come back later. The spin the wheel option will be available again and you can spin to win. And so that way you will get a certain amount deducted off your final price here. But it is premium quality tested, and it's made of the same material as the Culturama atomic symbol here. I'm going to be getting myself the pillow very soon, the Leo the Beast pillow, and I think you guys will thoroughly enjoy it. So if you want your very own dysgenic dog for yourself, you can get it here at the Culturama collection under the AP4 Liberty shop. But if you're not compelled to get the Beast pillow, do not dismay. We have other things here on the shop as well. For instance, you can get a Daniela Pensac body pillow as well. That is also an option on the store. A bit cheaper. For some reason, I'm cheaper than my dog. So there you go. You can get that as well. So there's a lot of fun stuff in the Culturama collection shop. Highly encourage you guys to take a look at it. But anyways, that's enough shilling for this stream. You could always save the code quest fanning. Yes, it's a simp pillow, Steelbringer. Do you have upcoming guests coming, asks Rowhouse. Rowhouse, I do have upcoming guests. Paul Gottfried will be on the coming month of March. Let me look at my schedule here, because I should tease you guys a little bit with what's coming up. So I have Paul Gottfried coming on the beginning of March, if all things work out. I have Vish Bura also coming on my stream. If you don't know who he is, look him up on Twitter. He has quite the following. This week we have a little bit of a smaller guest. This is Alex Cuesta. He is a streamer. I will be having him on Thursday. And I will also be having returning guests as well. If all goes well, I've been meaning to have Jacob Chansley on my stream actually, and I met him at AmFest. They asked him if he could come on stream, and he said yes. The first week he was supposed to come on, he had to reschedule, and then he was supposed to come on last week, but I had to go on a last-minute work trip, and I had to reschedule that one. So I'm still rescheduling Jacob Chansley, but that is a big fish. So yes, Shaman, I will be getting him on. But the beginning of this coming month, we will be having Paul Gottfried, and I think you guys will really enjoy that, especially Euro House. That one will be really good. So Code Barney works too. Cool. Anyways, I think this has been a very productive and fun stream. You guys, what do you think? Rowhouse, you wrote, you are great by yourself, but I guess once in a while is always nice since you interview well, Danielle. Thank you, Rowhouse. Sometimes, a couple times I had a few guests that were planned and they had to drop out last minute. So I had a few Thursdays that were empty, but I do like to keep my interviews on Thursdays. And then going forward, I do want to do a debate panel. I was meaning to launch a debate panel this month. I'm juggling so many projects, you guys, and I'm still trying to find people that would agree with it. I do have a progressive leftist who is willing to debate. So what's important about getting people to debate on a panel is that you want people to match each other's skill set or their experience level. So I'm trying to find someone that'll match their experience level. Because I don't want to pit, one person against another that has far more experience, in debate. It's just not fair. So I'm a liberal. Yes, Rowhouse. I do have a liberal. I would say it's pretty progressive, but that's willing to debate. So I'm working on a debate panel. Hopefully by March it will come through. But yes, guest appearances will still be happening every Thursday to the best of my ability. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining in the chat. We have been going on quite a while, and I am getting a little hungry here, and so is Leo. But what do you guys think? I know you guys paid for him, so I want you guys to have a good look at him. Look at the creature that you paid for. He loves it. He loves it, you guys. You guys still shock me by the amount of money you give to see him. And his extra toe is on the left foot. I don't know if you can see it on stream. I don't want to torture him too much here, but his extra toe is right here. It's on the bottom. It's supposed to be a dew claw, but it's not. I don't know if you can see that. What does he eat? Asks Rowhouse. More Leo lore. Leo actually used to eat chicken. He did not. Yeah, he likes the microphone. He does not tolerate dog food. And so for a long time, we've been feeding him chicken. And then Leo has had a lot of health issues. He sheds a lot of fur. I won't get into the details of it, but let's just say he was acting fairly unhealthy. And so when I took him to the vet, it turns out that chicken allergies are actually very common among canines, which is shocking to me. And so I decided to put him on a pescatarian diet. So unfortunately, he does have to eat dog food yet again, but he eats. I can actually show you the brand. It's actually a miracle dog food brand for him, because ever since then he stopped shedding as much. His droppings are normal. He doesn't have like diarrhea. He doesn't get sick. And he's not dropping weight. I don't think anything will get him to do that, but he does have more energy. So let me pull up the dog food. Oh geez, what is it called? It's called what is it called? Burt Ward. Burt Ward made the Burt Ward, the actor who played Robin, made this dog food. Here it is. Gentle Giants. That's what it's called. I posted about Gentle Giants before, but this is a dog food. Now, you would never guess this is the dog food that helped him. But of all the other dog food brands that I've looked through, this one with the schizophrenic advertising on it is the one that helps Leo. Turns out schizophrenic advertising claiming that it's healthy is true. So this is the one that Leo eats only. He eats the 90% salmon. It has no chicken, it has no beef. It has salmon, and then the rest is grain, fruits, and vegetables. And this is what basically healed him. He doesn't shed anymore as much. He, like I said, acting healthy in all the right ways. So if you have a dog with like a chicken allergy or has like diet issues like Leo does, I certainly recommend Gentle Giants. Do not let the advertising dissuade you. It's actually quite healthy. Okay. So I just wanted to share that and spread the good news. Anyways, okay, you guys. Well, I think I'm gonna call it quits here. I do want to thank everyone that have joined and withstood the technical issues I had. I am so sorry about that. I will try to get it fixed. I will have it fixed by next stream on Thursday. I will be having a guest next Thursday as well, so you guys really will appreciate that. But yeah, the technical issues will happen sometimes. So thank you for withstanding that, and thank you everyone that has joined. I hope you have a blessed evening. Let me play some outro music. Hold on, let me play some outro music for you guys.
In the heart they gather strong.
So everyone, God bless you. Have a good evening. Fight against communism and all aspects of degeneracy in society. Let's reclaim the zeitgeist together, everyone. And I will see you next week on Thursday. And I hope you have a lovely and relaxing evening. Thank you everyone that has joined me, and I hope to see you this coming Thursday stream as well as Saturday's video game stream. So I'll see you guys there, and let's keep reclaiming the zeitgeist together.
In the heart of every town, we've got the power now. The Reds are going down. With a flagpole planted firm, golden dreams that won't decay, marching proudly through the day. In the eagle's shadow by, we find our strength and take our pride. Let the voices echo loud, tearing through the waiting crowd. We've got the power now. In the heart of every town, we've got the power now. The Reds are going down. Across the plains and mountains tall, hear the victory call. With courage and with might we strive in the light of freedom's guide. We got the power now. In the heart of every town, we've got the power now.